How's it, everybody? And a warm welcome to the NFT show. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko, and tonight we're going to be bringing you a Freestyle Friday with my friend, Cade.
There we go. There we go. All right.
How's it going?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I've got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I just want to double check. My camera goofed for a second there, so I just want to make sure it was all good.
Yeah, no worries at all. I think you need to come lower down.
Yeah. I got to reset up this thing real quick.
Cool. So check it out, man. We got a new thumbnail.
Damn. Well, looking clean, dude. Fuck yeah. I'm so happy happy you did that.
This particular one, I got my inspiration from you, my friend. It's my Freestyle Friday one.
Let's go. Hell yeah. It looks fucking sick, dude. I really like that. I really like that style. And for people who don't know, he got a new Twitter photo. In the Twitter photo, he'd be looking sexy.
There we go. Yeah. And if you don't know, then you're not following our Twitters. So if you're not following us already, we got YouTube, mine, we got Cade's. Ooh, Cade, that's new at the top there, my man.
Yeah, dude. A subscriber or just like a person just sent it to me. He was like, "Yo, I got what do you think?" And I was just like, "Did you make that?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my god, hell yeah!" So I told him, "Yeah, man, I made it my Twitter banner. I made it my everything. It's my fucking background on my computer. Like, I love it."
Awesome. All right, guys.
Well,
before we get into it, a reminder that nothing we say is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. You should always do your own research. And if NFTs excite you like they do me, and you want to learn more about the space, remember to like and subscribe to this video. And if you aren't already, follow me on Twitter, follow Cade, and join our Discords for real-time alpha. So the cool thing, market. All right, so let's have a look here. We've got OpenSea down 16 million yesterday. If we look, we're almost at the end of July. We got 2 days left, and it's looking at like it's going to be worse than last month. I mean, it's 495 million so far for the whole month. Last month was 695 million. There's really absolutely no way that we're going to get there. So definitely still very much in the NFT bear market. Yeah. If we have a look here, very important to look at LooksRare X2Y2 because in the last 24 hours, they've done $1 million on X2Y2 here, give or take. Wow. So LooksRare is about 2 million. So together, we get to about 20 million. Still a far cry from our 200 million. But the good news is that.
What's the good news?
So, well, Ethereum, bro, 1,700.
Oh, yeah. They did pump. I was just going to say I might be doing a podcast with X2Y2.
Oh, that's cool.
I spoke to them recently. So hopefully I do. That'd be kind of cool. I haven't never talked to a marketplace on a podcast. So it'd be cool to get their insight on things. On the back end side, I feel like that's like opens the door to a conversation with like OpenSea or LooksRare or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think that's really awesome. Yeah. They're doing good stuff. Bitcoin sitting at just under 24,000. Ethereum 1,700. Really quite amazing. I mean, we had the 75 basis point increase. I guess everyone was expecting it. We've had some earnings come in. If we have a look over here, we had Amazon came in very, very strong. They beat estimates and they're up 12% on the day.
Wow.
So I've been in Amazon since 2017. I've had shares and I've slowly been upping my position. Anyway, so my broker sends me a message today. Have you seen Amazon today? So I went and looked, and then I looked on my app. And it shows me as being down since 2017 on my app where I track it, which is impossible because I bought in at like $60 at that stage. So he said to me, no, they diluted it. If you had one share, you got like 80 shares at a lower price. And I changed my inputs in the Bloomberg app. And bro, like I'm up $100,000 that I wasn't. It's like finding $100,000 in my phone.
Jesus Christ!
I've been looking at the app the whole time, thinking, oh my God, I'm not doing so well. So yeah, I mean, I said to him, has anyone else diluted their shares? And he says, yeah, Alphabet, Google. So I did the same thing on Google. I got another $100,000. So it's been a great day. Instead of being down $500,000 year to date on my shares, I'm only down $300,000 year to date on my shares. So
Let's
I
fucking
was really happy
go.
about that. But what's quite incredible, yeah, man. What's quite incredible is that we had most of these guys missing estimates, and the market's like not caring. Okay, they didn't miss it, but too much. Apple was a couple of percent, but Facebook was really bad, and we have seen them. Oh well, they're only down 0.72 on the day, and the markets just continued. They're cheering it. I think that they had already priced this all in, but I mean to think that we're seeing a pump. The last time we saw such a pump on crypto after a 75 basis point increase was in 1970, which is absolutely incredible.
50 years.
So I don't know.
It's half
What
a
I've
century.
learned, what I've learned is that I know absolutely nothing. I sold my ETH at $1,600. Not absolutely everything, but a lot of it into USDC. I'm expecting this to go down. The macro is still shit, but everyone else disagrees with me, and that's great. Let it continue. Let it continue.
But even if it does, dude,
incredible.
it's gonna go up to what, 2,500, like absolute fucking max, and it's like that's not even worth the risk of it just going back down to 800. For me, like if I agree. If it was at 1,700 right now, I'd probably be at least selling like half or something if I had a bag of ETH. I'm not investing in the market right now. But hold on, let me back in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna put this in the freezer real quick.
No problem. That's a bin that we're going to 1,000
Your audio and video is cutting out, by the way, Philip.
I'm getting warnings on my internet connection over here. I don't know why.
Oh, there we go. It's back. It's the video is much better now. It was really shit for a second.
Yeah, you know I've got an internet warning here. I'm not sure why my internet's playing up a bit, but will you let me know if it happens again?
Yeah, it looks really good right now. It looks really good right. Do you want to let it sit? Like sometimes with my Wi-Fi, when it does that, I'll let it I'll like take how about this? Here, while your internet fixes itself, because it usually does on its own, let me do a live, brutally honest review of this fucking sick energy drink. Look at this thing. It's called Ghost Energy Sour Patch Blue Raspberry flavor. This is the flavor we're rocking with for the brutally honest review live. So Ghost Energy Sour Patch Blue Raspberry, 0 calories. Let's fucking go. Or 5 calories. 5 calories. Oh, that tastes like sex in my mouth, dude. Ghost products are by far the absolute top tier, A quality, A side, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Ghost Energy is the GOAT for all fitness supplement style stuff. If you're not doing Ghost, you're doing it wrong. I'm going to give that a 19.5 out of 20. That is actually incredible.
And Ghost, if you're watching, if you're not paying this man, you must pay him.
You know what? I haven't had Ghost in a long time. Honestly, I haven't had Ghost since I was a bodybuilder a couple years ago. And I forgot how good Ghost is. Like, I only drank Ghost protein and Ghost energy before I found Celsius. When I found Celsius, I think it's cheaper. That might be the reason I roll with Celsius. But god damn, that was good. Let me grab a cup of ice because I'm gonna be sipping on that the whole show. That is phenomenal. This really tastes like Sour Patch Kids. If you guys can't tell the flavor, it really does taste like that. Oh my god, that was so good.
So Morad, at Mart, ETH Mart, we've got that merge happening. Well, it's not the actual merge. They're doing the last test on the test network in 45 days. And then the merge will happen thereafter. But yeah, very interesting indeed what's happening there, for sure. Very, very interesting. And yeah, a lot of guys are thinking that ETH might overtake Bitcoin.
Dude, everyone's been talking about that. Yeah, Journey Crypto's been talking about that. I've been hearing about it.
We know nothing, bro. We might be at the absolute bottom now. I might have sold at 1.5 at the absolute bottom. No one knows shit.
It's possible. I don't know. What do you think the chances are? I mean, crypto can do anything, but I don't know what the catalyst would be. I would think the chances of ETH pumping and doing something like incredible would be closer to probably the merge, which is happening supposedly the next month or so. So I think there's a chance we could stabilize. Yeah, we could stabilize around a higher price. Like, there's a chance we stabilize at $1,700 kind of thing. Like that's possible. But I haven't heard much bullish news as far as the price of it pumping after the merge. Like the merge isn't going to make ETH go to 10K. Like that's not what's going to happen from that. Like it just makes it more effective. And Vitalik Buterin said they'll be processing more transactions in the bank.
Yeah, it makes it more scalable. They'll be able, and that can help it grow long term for sure. But look, the fact that I took out ETH to USDC at 1,550, that should tell you that I think it's going lower. The macro hasn't changed. There's still that war going on. There's still huge supply chain issues coming out of China. And there's still a recession in the United States, even though they say there isn't a recession.
What happened with that CloneX jacket, by the way? We're going to talk about that, the jacket NFT, the hoodie NFT?
So I said to Bianca, like, how cool CloneX jacket with AR inside of it. So she said, like, how much is it? So I said, well, I converted like, what, 0.3 Ethereum was the floor, and it was like $1,500. So I'm like $450. She said to me, "Are you mad?" So I sold it.
Oh, so you're not going to get the hoodie?
No, I'm not getting the hoodie. I sold it at 0.3. I don't know.
Bro,
I'll tell you something about.
You were so excited about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about Bianca, man. Like I said to her, I'm buying a Bored Ape about a month ago, and she said to me, "Go for it." Right? She asked me how much. I told her. She said, "Go for it." Right? Damn. She knows enough about the space to know how special a Bored Ape is and how much I wanted it. Didn't have to convince her nothing. Say to her, "I want to buy a hoodie." How much is it? $400? No way. So, bro, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Look,
honestly,
if I had said to her, it's very important to me and I want to do it and whatever, she would have said fine. I think she could sort of tell that I was on the fence.
I would have gotten it if I had a CloneX. I would have bought it for content purposes, to wear it, to be able to make videos with it. But you don't make that kind of content, so it wouldn't really make as much sense for you. Like you could wear it in the show, but it's not like you're going to be able to see your avatar on the YouTube stream.
Yeah, it's basically like a Snapchat filter for $450.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, and the fact that you only had 2 days to claim it, and then it gets burnt, it's done and dusted, and it's worth nothing. The NFT side of it, the digital side, I just thought, not. Yeah. So that was that. But let's have a look.
Probably smart.
Bro. Let's check what's trending. All right, so number one, have you heard of this, Cade? I've never heard of this YOLO Bunny.
How is this happening? What like who are these? Is this a free mint?
Bro,
who's buying this? Who is buying YOLO Bunny at 0.6? If you bought YOLO Bunny at half, oh my God, there's 10,000. What the fuck?
Bro, a lot of people. They've done 1,700 volume. Let's just see if they're a new project. So they launched about 4 days ago.
What was the price a few days ago? What was the average price?
One Ethereum.
Okay, so you know what?
Ethereum.
Here's the
63. What the fuck is going on here?
There's multiple projects now that are rabbit focused that are crushing it. Like, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. ETH? People are spending a fortune on these things, bro. I got no idea about. I'm gonna have to look more into this.
So you guys know My Pet Hooligan. My Pet Hooligan has their main character is a bunny. We have Fluff World, which is a bunny project, and they're both crushing it. There must be something here. Apes and bunnies are the meta for NFT culture, I guess. I guess it's apes and bunnies.
It's got more to do with the utility. I don't know anything about this, bro. It's a premium club that consists of 10. How premium can it be if there's 10,000?
You know what? Let me do some recon here. YOLO Bunny. I'm gonna figure this out.
And lovers that traveled across the wormhole. It's exclusive for members and will grant benefits to them in special days. The benefits will include platform token airdrop, plots airdrop, and the only chance to receive a Genesis headphone NFT. Listen to earn. That's interesting.
They don't even have a Twitter.
No, they do. Yeah, but it's called Muverse NFT. Have a look here.
I see.
You got that. I'm going to jump on their website. Let's see what's going on here.
6,000 followers, not followed by anyone that I know. That's weird.
So JT's saying it's a manipulated floor, eh?
Okay. That's possible. I've seen a few projects where they've got a lot of rich investors and they just buy the floor and they just pump up the project. It's common. Like that's just kind of like classic insider trading stuff.
990 owners, yeah. Yeah, thanks, JT.
Oh, okay.
So the owner distribution. And what about the actual number of sales? So 53 today, 46.
So they're like selling back to each other, basically, is probably what's happening here. Like a 45 ETH sale, then he'll like buy 6 or 7 of his at like 8 ETH and like buy him back kind of thing. Okay, that makes sense.
All right. Still, I mean, there's quite a lot going on here. I've never seen manipulation on this level. I mean, this is quite a lot. It's different wallet addresses as well, buying the big ones. F2.
Yeah, god damn, dude, fuck. Well, I mean, like when you have I made a video. I forget if this is a video I made a long time ago. I've been doing a lot of editing for sound bites. I've really been focusing on sound bites, so I've gotten really good at it. And I've been going back on old podcasts. I'm editing the old podcast I did with Doodles from a few months ago, and I'm like finding little clips there. And I forget if it was from an old video, but I basically was talking about the fact that there are some people in this NFT world that are beyond rich. Like they have thousands of Bitcoin kind of thing. Like they bought Bitcoin at $6 and they've got thousands of them. And there are people in this NFT world that have that much money that are just doing like literally fuck all. They'll just do whatever they want. They just don't care. And like, they're not the people on Twitter. They're not the people that you see on Twitter. They're the people that are hidden. They have anonymous wallets. You don't know who they are. They're the whales that go and have 27 different anonymous wallets and ledgers. And they do whatever they want, dude. They do it whenever they see a project they want to pump up. They'll go and sweep the floor, and then they'll resell them off, and they'll just manipulate the floor like that. And that's something that you can't really predict that for one, but also it's just random, dude. Like it's completely random, and you have no control over it. And those things can happen. And it looks like with this project, it happened because it's like not even 1,000 holders for 10,000 items. That's wild.
Yeah. Listen, I still want to look a little bit more into it and dig into it, but yeah, it is weird. Then we got Azuki. I saw that they swept their own floor, and they weren't hiding it. I think 18 were bought, so it went from 8 to about 10. We had Meebits. Meebits is quite interesting. So they haven't really communicated on their Twitter at all since they were launched. Meebits is like your stepchild. It's like your forgotten. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, people love their stepchildren, so that's a bad example. But either way, it's like the ugly stepdaughter or whatever. So they come out with their first fucking tweet in like forever, and they say, "Hi guys, we are now making a 5% royalty," which they always was 0% royalty, right? So I used to buy them, flip them for half a ETH, and then you end up with like pretty much 0.4 because you still have to pay the 2.5% OpenSea. So, and they said, and we've got some utility that we're working on, but we can't tell you much. So I don't know. I thought that was like the first tweet in ages, well, to tell everyone that they're doing that. So it went from about 4.2 to about 5. It's retraced a bit. But yeah, that's why it's had so much action in the last 24 hours, right?
Yeah, there's a project up there. I'm not going to say which because I still might be working with them, but there's a project on this page that I'm looking at right now that they've done so much volume and they've sold so many NFTs that it's not that I was disrespected. I was just kind of shocked at the fact that they asked me to do a paid review video on them, and I gave them my price, which I don't think is. It's not even remotely close to as much as some people charge on a tweet. And I'm like, I'm offering so much value in my videos. So I'm like, here's my rate. And they just were like, that is like, well, one, the guy who reached out was a jackass, but also it was just like, I don't know. When you've made so much money, like the floor is pretty high on that project. They made an astounding amount of secondary sales. I'm like, guys, you guys have over $1 million in your treasury to do marketing and stuff. And I was like, I'm one of the only YouTubers who even does anything close to what a promotion would be considered. Like most of the YouTubers have their own projects, so they don't do any more promos. And I do a review. I was like, here's the rate. I'm pretty much the only person in the system that can do this for you as far as high quality review. Yeah, I was like, there's only a couple YouTubers that can do it. And they were just like, man, I don't know. Maybe we'll work together. I don't want to say anything more.
Bro, don't let it get you. It's a numbers game. I told you. It's like when you go
Yeah.
to the club and you ask 10 girls for a kiss, and you'll get one kiss. You'll get one kiss
Well, I
at the
told
end
them,
of
I
the
was like,
day.
look, I've done over 100 reviews. I was like, you're the third project
Exactly.
out of over 100 reviews to have a problem with my rate. I was like, I promise you it's not too much. Every other projects with no treasury have paid me this much money. I'm like, I promise you guys just don't understand anything. Like, that's what this is. But
Don't let it get you at all. All
yeah,
right,
you're
so
right.
let's get through this because we've got a lot of good, nice, awesome news that I want to get into. I also want to see when this Grumples is dropping because I've got a goblin and I've got some bait lined up and I've got some alpha on it. So I
Oh,
want to
shit.
talk about that. All right, so we've got other deed at number 4, Board APR Club at number 5, Crypto Punks at number 6. So wow, I mean, Yuga's really covering the top charts here. Moonbirds just under 20, Super Rare at number 8, Mutants at 17, The Potatoes, which I spoke about on Wednesday show, at 0.9, Music Ape Club, which I've never heard of, at 11, Elfstown, Lady Ape Club, Clone X, and McGoblin, the Burgers. So that's what's happening on OpenSea. Then if we jump into flips.finance, just to basically get a bit of an overview of red versus green. So obviously, ETH's pumped in a very short period of time, and it seems like the floor prices are struggling to hold on. They're coming down a bit because people are converting it to dollars in their mind.
Yep.
If we have a look in IC Tools, what's trending like this second while we're here, we All Gonna Die, which I have not seen on the top chart for a long time. This is 5-minute candles, by the way, so this is always dynamic. It's always changing. We got Rug Radio, The Potatoes, Mooncats, Ataku Club, which I saw some guys degening into yesterday, Hero Galaxy, and a few others.
Nice.
All right, so a reminder, today is Freestyle Friday. Feel free to ask us questions and chat to us. That's what today is about. Latest news. I'm just looking at all the new thumbnails, man. You got your friend
I love it, dude. I fucking love it. It's so much better, dude. It's so much better when you have a face on it.
Yeah, I like it too. Bianca does all my thumbnails, hey? How cool is
you
that?
told me about that. That's fucking awesome.
Self-taught.
Legendary.
I said to her, I need help. I can't do everything. She said, no worries. And yeah, I love it, man.
Queen.
Shame. And she and she sends it to me. Do I like it? Must she change anything? It's always a pleasure. Well, really, really cool. All right,
Legend.
so we've got the US, according to what everyone thought was the definition of 2 quarters of negative growth, that puts you in official technical recession, right? But we then had the Fed coming out a few days before that was confirmed, that we would be negative for a second quarter. They came out and said, look, it's not just 2 negative quarters, but it's also lowering job numbers and housing crisis and of which there's none of that. Everything else seems positive. So they don't think that this is a recession. But if you actually go to the Oxford Dictionary and you type in the word recession, it defines it as 2 quarters of growth. So as far as I know, we're in a recession. It seems like no one else got the memo. Because in the end of the day, we've seen crypto and the markets react with huge gains. But we also had Powell coming out, the Fed raising rates 75 basis points again, which everyone sort of expected. The bullish thing at the moment is that they're now taking holidays. So there's not going to be another decision of a rate hike for the next 60 days or 50 whatever days. Which means that we're going to have a relatively quiet. Yeah, they're going on holiday, bro. The whole world's blowing up, and
they always do this shit. They literally. I remember there was. I forget what the reason was, but there was a period where I was still with my parents, and there was. It was. I think it was either during the COVID time, or there was some kind of big thing happening in the world, and they were just like, "All right, government's shutting down." And we were like, "What?" Like, yeah, they can't make it work, so they're just going to shut it down for a few weeks. I was like, what do you mean they're going to shut down? They are the government. They can't shut down. They're running the country. And they're like, no, they shut down. I'm like, motherfucker, what? What do you mean you shut down?
It's the only country. I mean, listen, I come from a dysfunctional country. I'm in South Africa. That's no secret. our government doesn't threaten to walk off the job site. They don't
That's
threaten
fucked,
that, and they
bro.
don't do that. I've never heard of that in my life unless it comes to America. Whenever they can't agree, they all go on holiday for 6 weeks. It's incredible.
I swear. I put out a tweet yesterday and I said, is anyone living in Europe and want to give me some alpha on where to move? I heard Portugal. I heard Switzerland. I heard Germany, a few people. Germany apparently is a potential place. Because I was like, look, dude, I watched this podcast yesterday and the guy in the podcast was like, look, I live in this place. I'm not going to say where. He's like, somewhere else in Europe. And he was like, I don't know why the fuck you'd live in America. He goes, especially once you have money. He goes, I'm shocked at how many people move to Miami. He goes, don't move to Miami. He's like, at some point, people will wake up and realize the United States isn't really all that, especially when you have money. He goes, you can't even use that money for anything fun when you live in this state. He's like, it's just, there's too many rules. They have too much power over you, especially when COVID happened. I was shocked. I remember when COVID happened.
No, but Europe did the same thing. I mean, look, the grass is always greener on the other side, I think. And there's a lot of positives about the States and there's a lot of negatives. And that's the same as any country in the world, you know.
Sure.
What we are starting to see, what's interesting is that people are front running the decisions. So as long as they're not surprised, they don't mind. So they priced in the 75 basis points, you know. So if it had been 100, it would have been a problem. But if they were expecting 50 and it actually was 75, it would have been a problem. So people are front running. They don't want to be surprised. They want some certainty. But, you know, with that said, they're busy saying here that, you know, jobs are still robust. You know, but there's still, and they do mention it here, there's still the war in Ukraine. There's still supply chain issues. Look, the housing market is always a lag indicator as well. So you're only going to start to see the effects of what's happening now on the housing market in a while. So, yeah, I mean, I'm completely shocked with how the markets, not just the crypto, but the markets have responded in the last 2 days. It's really incredible.
Did you see that thing about in the news about on TikTok? It blew up. This video went viral about China, Russia, South Africa, India, Brazil banding together to make a new world reserve currency to capitalize on the fact that the US dollar is just declining at a rapid rate. Have you seen that?
I've seen it. I have seen it. Look, I don't think it's as big as people think it is. You know, you had that with the euro, and look what's happening there. I mean, Germany is basically propping that entire currency up. They're the ones who contribute 90% to it, and they're thinking of disbanding it. So here you're coming, you know, I think it's, even if they do go ahead with it, it will be a long time before it becomes anything, and it might never become anything because something's going to go wrong. The more parties you have involved, the more disagreements. So, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it now. I'd see it to believe it. And, yeah, I mean, I saw them all hugging each other or something.
Yeah, that was fucking uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable watching that. I was like,
I'm like, what is going on here? But I'll tell you, it didn't really even make local news here. So I only saw it on international news, which is a bit weird. So I'm saying, like, it doesn't seem like it's in early stages. Maybe they've come to some agreement. They've got to sort out all the details. They're never going to get there. There's no way the five of them are going to agree. We are such different countries. There's absolutely no way. So if we just want to see, we've had 2 quarters of negative growth, effectively putting, from my understanding, into a recession. But apparently that I'm wrong, which is ridiculous. Then we had Facebook come out with their earnings. They lost $5.7 billion this year. Mark Zuckerberg said he doesn't mind. He knows the metaverse is expensive, and they are continuing to build because in the long run, they're going to make it back tenfold. So that
we knew this, dude. We literally knew this. Like when they launched Meta, we were like, look, it's going to take like at least 10 years for them to do this. If they're going to allocate this much money, there's no way they're going to make money the first 10 years. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, like, this came out and people were like, oh, I got to sell Facebook. They're going down. I'm like, they're not going down. They're just building right now. Like, that's why they've lost money, because they're spending that revenue on something else. Like, I don't understand.
They're putting all their eggs in one basket.
That is true.
Like 90% of their workforce is dedicated to the metaverse, eh?
I mean, I think that's where we're headed, though. Like, I think when they say metaverse, people think about that in some video game world, and I'm like, it's not a video game world. They're just investing in like the next stage of NFTs or of social media, because what they know is that they're dying, dude. Instagram got ripped apart on the news when they tried to make it more like TikTok. They literally got roasted alive, and then Facebook also took a hit because they own Instagram, and they were like, look, don't try and copy TikTok. And so I think what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're gonna be the next. We're gonna be the next big thing. And I think that's what they're working on.
Yeah, look, I see it, but imagine you bought shares in Facebook, and you're now looking at 5 years later, the guy's been losing every single year because he's got this passion. Look, good for
Sure.
him. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any Facebook shares. I never have. But yeah, look, they need to do something. And that's the truth, because they're not going to be around if they don't. So they need to pivot. So I get it, but yeah, I mean, only time will tell. It depends how long it takes him. Because imagine if a competitor comes out tomorrow and says, "Here's our metaverse," and it's amazing, and everyone wants to be there, and Mark is still busy building.
Meta
I
has
don't
to
know.
offer something unbelievable to get people to actually join it, because I don't know a lot of people who would, if someone else comes in and they're just even remotely close to as good as them, dude. I mean, if I had to choose, I'm not picking Facebook.
I don't know that there's anyone spending as much time or money as he is, to be really
True.
quite honest.
True.
I mean, I could be wrong, but they've been building this for 5 years already. You know that.
Mhm.
All of
Yeah,
his Oculus and stuff. I mean, so he's already put a lot into it. Yeah, so for me, it's quite interesting. So we'll see. And then in other news, Mr. Bergman, we have Mercedes-Benz launching a blockchain-based data sharing platform. Now, this is bullish as fuck for me, right? I bought Bianca a new car last week. So
You bought her a Mercedes Benz?
No, I didn't buy a Mercedes
Oh,
Benz.
I was like, God damn.
I bought her a new car. So we have 3 boys. They're all sick as dogs at the moment, which is horrible. They're all coughing and on lots of medicine. But aside for that, we needed a bigger car when they were all in car seats, right, at the same time. Because you can't fit 3 car seats into the back seat of most cars. And we had twins and a newborn, so we had to buy a bigger car. So we got a Chev Captiva, and the car has given us problems from the beginning. And we've had it for 7 years, 8 years. Anyway, It started making a noise under the bonnet, which is the front of the car. I don't know what you guys call it there. Under the hood. It's making a noise under the hood like a loose something. So we took it to the wheel alignment place and the shock guys, and they all said it's fine. And we took it to another guy. He said, no, the front arms of the car need to be replaced. We replaced them, and then we thought, great. And then all of a sudden, the noise came back. So we thought, fuck this shit. We went, we traded it in. We got a Kia Sportage now, which is a biggish car, but much smaller than the Captiva, and we're very happy. The reason I tell you this is because I asked the salesman, has it been owned by the Kia dealership from the beginning? Was it a demo vehicle? And he said yes. And then when I looked at the service book, it said Avis, which is the rent-a-car company in South Africa, which means that it was a rent-a-car, which makes a big difference. If it's owned by the Kia dealership and their employees drove it, then I feel better than if a guy like you and me, Cade, got a rent-a-car and drove around America over mountains and whatever, and doing circles and donuts in fields and whatever. But I was just thinking to myself, I wish there was an NFT attached to this car that I can check everything there and then, that I don't have to take some dodgy salesman's word for it. I can check the full ownership history, the full everything of it, and NFT technology would be the best thing for that. And I really thought that. And then I saw this article that Merck is indeed launching a blockchain-based data sharing platform. And it's going to be on pilot, right? And it's going to be sort of AI and machine learning, and completely private. So you don't have to worry about the privacy side of it. And it's going to allow them to collect data, and transactions will be on Polygon. They have said that maybe ETH, depending on the Rickenby test that's merge that's happening. But I thought that was really interesting and a great case for NFTs that we haven't heard of before, right? I don't hear guys speaking about how amazing it would be to be able to get your service history and your car history on an NFT. So I thought that was really cool and something that I wanted to show as a new case for.
That's a great way. Yeah, that's a great way. That's what we need to be talking about more, because people just don't think it's necessary. And I'm like, no, it is necessary though, because it's the only way to actually authenticate anything. You can make anything up, dude. You can buy a watch and they could just say it's real, But like, how are you gonna know? Like, you literally have to take them at their word. Here's some paperwork. It's like, okay, like I could have made that paperwork on Microsoft Word. I could have just typed in template fucking watch authentication on Google, and you will find one in 5 seconds. And you can't verify. There's no way to know. It's like, oh, this is owned by so and so. How do you know? Well, they said, and you're like, okay, you know, like NFTs, there's no bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. There's no bullshit. There are ways, like with Rolex, for example, to completely verify it, but you have to literally phone up Rolex, get a jeweler to open to make sure that everything matches everything. What is the serial number inside and whatever? Give that over the phone, so only during working hours, you know, and whatever. So it's cumbersome, whereas an NFT would be perfect, absolutely perfect. And that's what we're going to see. Guys are going to be using NFT or blockchain technology without knowing. They're not going to know that that's what's happening, right?
The issue is that it can't be verified. The only issue with NFTs is as soon as NFTs happen and they are using them for authentication, then you have to worry about, okay, which NFT is the right one. Like, it's like when people say, I can screenshot my Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's like, well, you can't sell it. It's like, well, what if I sold it to a dummy who didn't know it was the screenshotted one and they bought it for 10 ETH or something because they're stupid. They didn't verify it was the authentic collection. And that's where verification is going to be important as far as like verifying the collection as the real one. But then there's like multiple of the real one. There's like 3 Hate Beast NFT OpenSeas and they're all verified. And you're like, how would you know which one's the right one if you didn't like live in the world? It's like, well, you'd have to literally like go and find out for yourself and ask people something like that. So verification is going to be a problem as far as like which collection is the real one. And so that's going to be another issue, but that's an entire other industry. Like that's what's exciting is that with all this technology, it's another industry. So jobs, opportunities everywhere.
It's not, and that's not a difficult one to overcome. You know, like when you go to a website and it's got HTTPS, in order for that website to get that with the lock, they have to prove that they are the company that they say they are, and then they get that. So it literally could be just an image of a lock in the contract that you know that this is the real Rolex blockchain contract.
But people might not know that though. Like people might not, like I didn't know that till you just said it, that that's what it was. Like how, like
it's hard.
It's
hard to get TPS. That's why
but education is the most important thing, and we have to deal with it on our own. I think everyone's gonna have to do their own shit, take care of their own stuff, and so hopefully we're moving toward a world that's more autonomous and, you know, what's the word that Gary Vee loves to use? Like assuming responsibility, being accountable,
humility,
accountability, humility.
Humility. All right, then we've got MTV, and this is really a cool fit. You know, I do think that MTV, that sort of company, for any entertainment company, really fits into you know, this sort of technology. So they've announced that they're going to have a new category for music awards, and that's going to be best metaverse performance. So we've already seen the likes of Snoop Dogg and many others performing in the metaverse, and now they're going to be giving on their award ceremony once a year the best metaverse performance award, which I think is really, really cool. They're seeing that this is the future. I don't think that there's only going to be metaverse concepts. You know, just like there isn't only the internet, right? You can still go and touch grass and whatever, but there's definitely a space for this metaverse type thing, especially with a global audience, where someone like me can't see all the American performers without getting on a plane and flying to America. I've got some of you know, musicians who I absolutely love. What a pleasure that I could go and watch a virtual performance that feels real, be there, even go to an after party after and speak to the avatars that is actually that performer. So I think this is great. I think this shows that people are starting to recognize that in some way this is going to be in the future, you know.
Plus, like the issue most people have, like for example, for the parents who are like, our kids are growing up with social media and this is terrible. It's like, well, it's terrible if you want them to turn out like you and have the same values that you have. But the thing is, they're not you, and they're 25 years younger than you, meaning like they're not going to have the same future. So it's kind of similar in that sense where like the kids in 15 years are going to grow up with like the metaverse, and for them going and touching grass and going to a real life concert, it's not going to be something they give a shit about. And like maybe we think that they should, but it's like, why? It's not the same. It's like comparing a different time. It's like someone in 1901 being time traveled to 2020. It's like it's not the same for him. Like he just has different values. He has different things he cares about. And so people who jump in and hate on the metaverse, I've just gotten a lot of hate on like TikTok recently for NFT stuff, which is hilarious because I've just gotten so used to the hate that it just kind of bounces off my skin now. Like for real, it's like the first time that the hate literally bounces off. It used to like bounce off me, but it would stick in my skin a little bit, and it'd be like, damn. But now it just literally bounces off because I get it so much now. But they hate it so much. I'm like, look, guys, you can just accept it. And you don't have to jump in all the way if you don't want to, like we are. We're the extremes. I mean,
these kids are growing up on Roblox, and Minecraft and whatever. That's what's normal to them. I do think there is space for it's just like I imagine when, and I'm not that old, but I imagine when like cinemas came out, movie cinemas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that there were people who said that this is not healthy. The screen is big, it's bad for your eyes. You're sitting in a closed room, and God knows what was said at that stage, right? And it's not like the only way to consume content is through the cinema, right? But it definitely has a space. It has a place. And that's how I view the metaverse in the future, that there's definitely a big place for it. But it doesn't mean that everything else is going to fall away,
Exactly. And you can go to a movie. I'll go to a movie theater every now and then, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm probably just going to watch it in my house, dude, honestly. Like, unless there's a reason for me to go to the theater, like, it's just not. Like, it's more expensive. I have to pay for everything there. I got to sit on a fucking chair that probably hasn't been cleaned. There's like shit on the ground. Like, I'm like, there's not that many incentives to do these things. And so it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw the value firsthand at NFT New York of being face to face with people, right? There's a huge value there. But then you say someone like you and I would never be able to be face to face anyway, and at least we can connect this way. So there will be a place for it, right? But I don't think it's going to like replace going out for coffee with a good friend and catching up with them.
Yeah.
I think that there's still space for that. So it's just a world that continues. I don't know if you saw this, Cade.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I lightly covered it on Tea Time, but I didn't get too much into it. I just know they got sued by someone, and Ryder Rips roasted them.
No, did he? Okay, so they haven't yet been sued. A very reputable law firm is trying to organize a class action lawsuit against them. So they're basically putting the word out there and saying, if you feel that you've been duped in any way by Yuga Labs, please come forward, come to us so we can get enough people together to make it worthwhile to prosecute this case. And their main reasoning behind this, I don't know if you remember, there was that whole story, and it's been ongoing, about these. I've got to pay for this. It's a random site. There was this whole thing about being able to buy Bored Apes if you're a celebrity at a discounted price through influencers who are selling them, right? And them doing shady deals and private deals and giving it to you. So basically, this law firm, Scott and Scott, which is a very, very large USA base. Have you heard of them, Scott and Scott? Okay, so they're saying that everyone else who bought into the Bored Apes has been duped because these guys have been inappropriately selling Bored Apes to influencers and celebrities, and giving them to influencers and celebrities at time to artificially inflate the floor price, right? So they're calling it fraudulently promoted NFTs.
Yeah, I think this is a civil war opportunity here, dude, because there's going to be a bunch of holders of Bored Apes who feel like they bought in the top. And I think that I don't think there's grounds for this, honestly. I think the only thing that they have grounds for would be against MoonPay, but MoonPay is not associated with Bored Ape Club. They just work together low key. MoonPay is its own entity, and they did all the deals. Like, it was MoonPay who gave the influencers the real NFTs.
If they can prove that Yuga Labs was in some way incentivizing MoonPay to do that and link them together, then
I don't think they were, though. I think MoonPay is the only one who wins. MoonPay works with other NFTs and cryptos, but I think MoonPay acts as its own. So I think Yuga Labs does have a huge case or I think they do have a huge case against Yuga Labs for the other side because of not the other side, for ApeCoin, because every single exchange jumped on it and was like, ApeCoin, and everyone, and I remember I covered this live, and I was like, guys, this is fucking weird. I've never seen the entire crypto space come together to promote a coin that's not even theirs. It's literally for another company, because I know everyone's going to be excited because they're going to get some extra volume on their thing, but I was like, this is weird, guys. Like, everyone is excited about ApeCoin, and these are companies. This should not be legal that they're all promoting the ApeCoin. It was very weird to me, and I thought this is going to have some kind of legal issue later on. That's what I thought. I thought that's what it was, but it wasn't.
No, yeah. Look, I don't know on that side whether something will come up. I think, first of all, on the one side, people are opportunistic. They see a company doing well like Yuga, and they want to, in some way, get some of that pie, right? There's always that.
It felt scummy. They all tweeted at the exact same time. It was the same kind of tweet. I was like, guys,
is that not marketing to some degree?
But that's what I'm saying. Like that shouldn't be legal because that's an asset that they're pumping. I'm like, that's an asset you're pumping on your own platform. I'm like, that shouldn't be legal. It's not. It's different if you're like promoting a product that they're going to get something, but when you're promoting an asset that's supposed to go up and they're dependent on more people buying it more expensive than you bought it for, that's like, I don't know, just objectively.
Yeah, I hear you completely. There's two sides to it, and I don't know which side I'm on, but I'm just saying there's two sides to it. The one side is that if you want to buy my house and I ask for 5 times what the house is worth, and you end up paying that, do you have a claim against me? The answer is no. Willing buyer, willing seller. However, if you want to buy my house and I pretend that my house has got features that it does not have, and as a result of that, you end up paying 5 times the value, then you do have a claim against me, right?
Correct.
So that's what this company, Scott & Scott, this law firm is saying. They're saying that, yes, willing buyer is fine, but they have artificially inflated the floor price and pretended that it's something that it's not in a way by doing what they've been doing with these shady deals and getting influencers. Sometimes they're saying influencers have been dropped a Bored Ape. They haven't even paid for it. They don't even know where they got it. And then they contacted to say, will you mention that you got a Bored Ape, or will you change your PFP? But again, is that marketing and clever marketing? And, the same way as if I get Paris Hilton to model my new watch, I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
I think the celebrities felt like it was the same as like a product promotion. I think that's the word they come from. So I think when they're approached with their lawyers and they say, hey, here's an opportunity to make 900 ETH, all you have to do is do this thing. They're like, fuck yeah. That's the same as my normal promotion stuff. And that's what the thought process is. Like when Bradley Martin promoted that NFT, he made 91 Ethereum from that promotion, thinking he probably didn't feel bad. Because I don't think he understood it. I was like, I know Bradley Martin. I've watched his content for like 10 years. Like, I know he cares about his supporters and fans. I know he didn't do it with the intention to screw them over, which is what happened. Like, everyone bought this coin or this NFT, then it crashed a few weeks later. So a classic celebrity pump and dump. But I know that for him, he didn't think about it like that. He was like, oh, like I just do this, we get money, and everybody wins, no problem. But he didn't think about what NFTs were because he didn't know anything about NFTs. I think that's the issue with the celebrities. They don't understand what they're doing. They just get whatever their lawyer says. They're like, okay, money, yes. So, I don't know.
I'm watching it with a lot of interest. I'm just interested. I think it's very, very interesting. All right, then we've got a question here. Have you heard of Carrots? NFT collection, Carrots.
I have not heard about Carrots, but
also haven't.
It's got to do with bunnies. It's got to do with bunnies, so maybe it'll do well.
What do we think about Carrots? Could it really compete against potatoes? I mean, so first of all, potatoes are delicious and carrots are not. So I don't know, everyone likes potatoes.
I eat both. I like carrots. I think they're underrated.
Potatoes are so versatile, bro. You can have fries, you can have crisps, you can have, honestly, the list is endless. Whereas carrots, you can have a carrot.
That's true.
I don't know.
Oh God, no! There's no way they can compete with that kind of volume.
I don't know if this is. the what he's talking about.
Okay.
He might be. I mean, it's a ETH collection, which always is better than.
Philip, let's sweep the floor, bro. Let's sweep the floor.
How many do you want?
25.
I don't want to. I don't know. I don't think this can be it, unless it's an upcoming project. Irivial, please can you tell us if this is the collection? If not, just you can't put links in the chat, but just put what would be in space.
Check the activity.
The carrots, yeah.
Can I see the sales? How many? Oh, it's only 0.18 volume. Never mind.
Yeah, it's tiny volume. I did check the sales. Very, very small. I really
3 days ago. Holy shit. Okay.
Collection not out yet. Okay, so it's a new collection.
Oh, I see.
I haven't heard of it. Have you heard of it, Cade?
Nope.
Okay, sorry.
I don't
Haven't
do
heard of that,
degenerate stuff like
Gareth.
that, guys. Like my attention has shifted
I don't know
almost
if it's
entirely
degen.
to
I don't know if
content.
it's degen. Carrots could be the next collection by Non-Gag, by me,
Oh
by
no,
me
no,
man. Don't
but
know.
like, oh, I see what you're saying. I guess, yeah. Well, I guess my main focus is like stuff I would make a video about, and I'm just not covering that many new project stuff unless I'm being paid for a review. Every now and then I will, if I think that there's something there that might be worth talking about, other than just the fact that it's hyped up. But if it's just a project that's hyped up, that's not really a video I can make that's particularly helpful for anyone, because everyone else is going to cover it. Like all the other YouTubers are going to cover it anyway in their alpha video. And I'm not bringing them any value by making another video, just talking about the fact that it has followers. Like, there's something else to say about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it, but if it's by Meme Land or 9gag, then it will be interesting and it's possible. But I would have heard of it by then, I think. So maybe tell us more in the chat. Dubai wants to add 40,000 new metaverse jobs in the next 5 years. So Dubai,
Nice.
as we all know, is always on the cutting edge of this sort of stuff, and they're saying that they want to add on to it. They want to create these jobs, and they expect that it's going to add $1 billion to their economy in the next 5 years.
Wow.
The strategy aims at promoting the growth of Web3 technologies in economic sectors of tourism, retail, education, healthcare, remote work, and more. Bless you.
Oh.
Web3 tech includes virtual and augmented reality, the blockchain, cryptocurrencies. Dubai is already home to 1,000 blockchain companies. The metaverse contributes 500 million to the city's economy at the moment. So yeah, very, very bullish, very interesting. Good to see.
Two things. One, Dubai looks fucking sick. I've heard some stories from one of my dad's best friends. He's like one of those guys that just has stories on stories on stories on stories. And he had a friend who's like a multi-billionaire dude. So he invited him over to Dubai to check it out. He said, I can't even tell the stories. He just some of the stories he told me about Dubai, and just the things like, I mean, it's a really safe place, but the things that people can do if you like live there as a super rich person are just unreal, like stuff that you only read about in books and stuff. And then the other thing was, I'm potentially about to start working with a company that's not an NFT project. They're a real actual company, and they work with NASA, and they're the company that they made a product that helped the Mars rover get to Mars. So they had this thing that wraps the lithium-ion battery from overheating and making sure it doesn't blow up its guts all over the other machinery. And so they're a super successful company in that way. And their CEO recently came out and said that the metaverse is their biggest play right now. So they've shifted a lot of stuff over to build technology to be specifically for metaverse style technology machines, so that they can cover all that and protect it. Because if the metaverse is being built, that means there's going to be buildings of machines that are running at the same time to make sure that the metaverse is running right. Because there's got to be something that's going to power all this. And they're going to be the company that makes sure that these machines don't blow up and overheat on themselves. And I'm potentially going to work with them to make some content. So shout out Meta Matt for hooking me up with them. So that'd be cool as fuck, because I was doing a review on their website, and I was like, damn, I'm so used to NFT projects and no one being qualified for anything. And then to go onto this company website, and like everyone there has got 30 years of experience working for Fortune 500 companies. I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is nice. Yeah. Everyone here is actually qualified. This is fun.
Bro, so I'm gonna get a what's it called? A grumple. So we're gonna do it live. It's just opened. Okay. So basically this is Goblin Town, and the big alpha here is that you only need one goblin. And then if you've got one goblin, you can have and then like 2 burgers, you can bait 2 grumples. If you have 1 goblin and 5 burgers, you can bait 5 grumples. So we'll look back at the mechanics now, but I want to try get in and flip one live. So let's do it, man. So here's the website. Okay, claim will close in 21 days. So there's me goblin. Explore the alley. I mean, look how well done this is, Cade.
That's fucking sick, actually.
I'm in the alley, bro. Now what? Okay, what are we doing back here? We take out the trash in the front. I'm looking for the dealer. I'm looking for the grump. Okay, you're looking for the grump? Okay, I know those little blubber babies. Yeah, in the right place. Because those little woodsits just can't resist. Great, let's do it. Back in the day, it wasn't as easy to find them. Have you all heard of the legend? Great. That sounds interesting. What happened? Okay, we have to go through this. Well, it's an old tale for sure. Okay, let's just say tell me. Okay, I'll tell. Yeah, I want to get it and flip it, man. I'll tell it that it's just a day a goblin told me, except a little bit different, and everything here sound like Agedida. Okay, very interesting. Or skip this. Do you think I can skip it?
Probably.
What you're fucking doing? Now, what was I saying? Sorry, go ahead. Okay, so I can't skip it.
Damn.
Anyway, well, it must have been almost 300 years ago when this mysterious egg come crashing in out of the sky. If it wasn't viewers, I wouldn't read this. I would just click, click, click. But let's do it. In the middle of the Goblin Town golfers. Now, them Goblin furs weren't so happy about that because it landed right in the middle of the fairway on hole 7. So pretty soon, one of them up and smashed it with a 5 iron. Yes, this Ike's talking shit. There's a Goblin Town Golfers. I love the golf course. It's my favorite. Please, can we? I don't know which one I'm supposed to pick here. Okay, then. Come a derby, a rainbow, a unicorn, a powie, the grumples. Thank you. Exactly so, grumps. Cause ain't nobody nowadays know where they're from. Boy, were they hungry. They ate just about everything. It wasn't that they chowed on burgers, they started to slow down, blah, blah, blah. How do I bait a grumple?
This is so interesting to watch.
Okay, so I know this already. I've seen it. This was on their thing. Great. Now what? If you're looking
Yeah,
for a
what?
grumple, you gotta know how to grab one. They picky little eaters and shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure you don't fuck it up. You gotta take your burger and pick what part you want to set in the grumple trap. Okay. Now you can do one burger or a few, but you gotta be careful with that. Or Uki likes to make him special sideways burgers with that pee sauce. She thinks it gets you all special kind of grumple, but nobody ever knows. Maybe because of Sleepy. Okay, can I get a grumple now? Okay, sure. All of that was so super easy to understand. Are you ready to bait a grumple? Bait the grumple.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Here we go.
This is why these guys are doing so well because it's not just click here to mint, right? Well, now that you're
I like
done
it.
fucking yammering, let's do a thing. Be careful. Don't give your fingers stuck in the trap. Okay. I feel weird. Let's do some baiting. Let's do some baiting. Okay, so you can choose up to 3 combos to put in the trap. So I wanna start with just one. Don't ask where Yuri gets. What do you mean select the toppings? I don't really want to select the toppings. Real talk, you are only a hungry gob. You know what? I'm not hitting on you. I'm just saying. Fun fact, no one knows for sure where they come from. Select toppings. Pick between 1 and 6 traits to put in the trap.
Ooh, I like that. You can choose. Nice.
Goblin tip, using only one combo gives you more control. Choose wisely. So the sauce. The meat. I don't think they want the sides, right? I don't know what to do. I mean, is it just random, do you think? Must I select all the traits or, I mean...
Hold on. Pick between 1 and 6 traits to put in the trap. Try to make it yummy. Yeah, no, click the blue button.
Are you ready? Okay, so I've now baited. You're taking forever. Bait and claim. I'm so fucking exciting. I just peed a bit. Did you pee a little bit? Check how cool, man.
God.
It's just about being original and,
How's that
creating
gas?
a narrative.
What's that gas looking like?
It really wasn't bad, but
Nice.
Gwei's at 14. It was like $3, but Gwei is very low. Oh, there's another transaction here. Let's just see what's... no, I opened it. Okay, so it's pending. Okay.
Nice.
let's just see here. I think it's completed. Now what I want to do is I want to see what the floor price is, because I'm going to get a second one, but I want to try flip this one, right? So I want to see here, floor price is 2.74, and I just want to see the activity. No trading activity yet. There is an offer for 1.5, which is the value of the burger was about 1.5 ETH. The floor actually went to about 1.7.
I would take that offer right now. What I've seen in the last few weeks is that the volume doesn't the decent prices do not last more than a couple hours at most. I flipped Liam D's flipping NFT, the expert summit. I sold it right near the beginning for 0.25 or 0.3, and it got as high as 0.4, came back down to 0.25. I think that's right where I sold, and I said, you know what? I don't see it climbing back up. I think I'm going to sell it now. And I did. And then a few hours later, it was down to 0.03. And I think that's where it's been holding, around 0.3, 0.05. Sorry, 0.03, 0.05. And I sold it at 0.3 or something like that. So what I've seen is that not a lot of them are holding that high floor price for a long time.
Yeah, so this is slightly different. Because of a few very interesting things which we're going to talk about. I'm just listing it at 2.69, and we're gonna monitor it. And then I will bait my second one a bit later when we're not on the stream. So I'll tell you a few things that's interesting about it, Cade. The first thing is that I just want to close here. The first thing is that remember that the thing that's going to determine this collection size is the burgers, because you need a burger in order to get a grumple, right? You also need a goblin, but if you have a goblin that's got 2 burgers, you can get 2 grumples theoretically, which people don't realize. But you could also use 2 burgers in one trap to catch a more rare grumple, or you could use 3 burgers in one trap. So it's deflationary, which means the burgers are going to go down. So why would I sell the grumple I could sell the burger without making it into a grumple for 1.74 now. And they are trading. So the thing is here is that there's only 8,000 burgers, and there's definitely going to be some people that are going to use 3 burgers to get a rare. So the Grumples collection is going to be like 4 to 5,000 max. Whereas if you look at every other collection that's ever had a secondary drop, the secondary drop is at least equal to or more than the first drop. So you look, Bored Ape Yacht Club is 10,000, the Mutants was 20,000. And so, because often they'll do a public sale or whatever as well, or they'll give you 2, like Azuki did with their beans or whatever. So this is the first one where it's deflationary. On top of that, the burgers have been able to hold about a 1.5 ETH floor before this little pump for today. They've been able to hold that consistently because of this ecosystem. So imagine a collection that's got more utility with less items coming out now. The value should be at least 2.5 ETH to begin with. So I really do think that if I accepted, I could just accept a 1.5 ETH offer on the hamburger now. I do think that they will start to get some sales coming in. I've got to keep an eye on it because I might have to lower my price. The whole point is you buy a burger at 1.5 and you get something that's worth more than that, right?
I see what you're saying.
I don't really. So mine is this floor one at 2.69. That's what I listed it at. There's no sales yet. I'm going to make sure that mine is the floor one. No, so someone's come in lower. So that's very low. Let's see if there's a sale or not. I'm keeping mine at 2.69 for now. And let's see what happens over here. Worst case, I don't have to. Yeah.
My gut says it drops closer to 1.5, and I think you're going to end up selling there anyway. That's my gut.
No, that's fine, but I can always sell the burger because the claim, I haven't claimed the second one. The claim period is for 23 days, right? Which is quite a long time. I think it said 23 days, right? Or did it say 23 hours? Let's just have a look. So what I'm saying is that there's going to be some guy who wants a second burger or third burger who will buy the burger for 1.7 right now because there's sales on the burgers happening all the time up until now properly. So I'm saying I just want to see when it closes. I'm not going to bait another one. And then I want to show you something else about this, which was really cool, was how they took you through. So this is seconds, this is minute, this is hours. Yeah, it closes in 21 days. So this
Okay.
and remember, the burger supply is going to be dropping. So that's going to create some sort of squeeze. So I'd rather, if the Grumples don't do so well, and I think they will, I think they will easily sell at about 2.5 to 3 ETH. If they don't do so well, I think I'll be able to get more for the burger than 1.5.
Wait, you think they're gonna? What's the goblins at?
Goblins are at about 2.5. I
There's
know
no
it
way.
sounds weird.
There's absolutely zero chance you will sell a
There's going to
Grumple for
be
that much.
less Grumples than
No,
goblins.
I think the absolute top someone will buy a Grumple is maybe 2 ETH at most. I don't think you'll sell anything close to that. I think you'll sell probably closer to 1.3, 1.5.
But you got to remember something, Cade. First of all, there's less. There's 10,000 goblins. There's
I
going to
know
be
there's less,
5,000
but I'm
Grumples.
telling you right
There's
now, it
another
doesn't matter.
point. There's another point. The Grumples is the new kid on the block. When goblins were new, they went all the way to 9 Ethereum.
I remember.
And they stayed there. There was hype. There was wait.
There was
wait
hype.
a bit.
There was hype. The hype does not last that long though. And I'm telling you right now, it will not do the same thing Goblins did. I will bet my board ape that I don't have.
I'm not expecting 9 Ethereum. What I'm saying is that they could easily settle at 2.5, 3 ETH. I'm telling you.
How about this? On our next Freestyle Friday, we'll see who was right. I think you will sell. I think they will start selling at 1.3. I think that's where they'll sell. You think they'll sell a bit higher in the two-ish range? What do you guys think in the chat?
See.
What do you guys think?
Because look, bro, the burgers are even less, and you need a burger and a goblin in order to do this. All right, let's see. So I just want to show you a couple of cool stuff. All right, with and if you can't tell, I'm back in the goblin ecosystem.
What other projects have done it? What other projects have done a companion recently? How well have they done?
No one has done a companion where it's deflationary like this that I know of in the history of NFTs. So there's nothing to explain it.
It matters a little bit
to explain it to.
No, I know, but it matters a little bit. But not in a bear market like this. It doesn't matter as much as I think we hope it does. I think it matters less. I think it does matter what companions have done recently, even if it's not deflationary. Because I think it's indicative of how people are thinking, the psychology behind traders right now.
We'll see. Because apparently you're going to need a Grumple and a Goblin to get this big guy next.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, they're going to keep diluting. They keep diluting the brands so quickly every few months.
But the burgers are gone now. They're going to be burnt and finished. So that they've gotten rid of one collection. They're not keeping it there and doing like a pixel vault where they've got a million different collections. They're getting rid of burgers now. And listen,
and I can appreciate that. I just don't think that's going to translate to a 2.5 ETH floor. That's my only point. I just don't think it'll hold that kind of value.
But they've got an incentive to make sure it does. Otherwise, no one's going to burn their burger, mate.
No, I know they do, but I just don't think people are going to buy it. Even if they want it to be. There would be a sale by now. There would be a sale by now if it was going to hold that kind of insane inflated floor. There's just no way, dude. People are going to start panicking. It's not going to sell 2.5. Someone will list it. Someone will make an offer at 1.5. A couple will sell at 1.5. The floor drops to 1.6, 1.7. A couple more sell, and then they kind of stabilize 1.3. That's my prediction. That's my official prediction for the Grumples by the Goblins. That's my official prediction. I know you don't want to hear it, but that's my prediction.
That's fine. I want to see how many different offers there are here. One offer at 1.5, one at 1. It's brand new. It's just happening. Wait. All right. Anyway,
that's what I'm saying. If that's the highest it will be. That's what I'm saying. All the collections recently have been doing the highest at the beginning. That's my point. That's the psychology of the trader right now. That's what I've observed at least.
The other side of it that it can happen is they get a sale. Someone accepts the 1.5, let's just say. Then someone buys one at 1.7. Then someone buys the 2.5. Then there gets FOMO and the floor starts rising. So it can work both ways. Let's see what happens. But I want to show you how cool this is. So they did this all in Goblin language, and then this guy over here translated it, right? So this is
legend.
This is how they showed you the thread. So they say contracts deployed on Friday. It's open to baiting Grumples, right? The contract begins by setting up the way to interact with two other contracts. So the one other contract is burgers called Data Litingi, and then the Goblins contract, which is Data de Rottengi. It sets owner of for both contracts from burgers. It also brings the mapping. And then they actually show you the code in the contract, and they took you through the entire contract logic. Let's dive into the contract itself. The first interesting function you'll see are what's a special, terminate it, and turn it on, respectively. They allow the team to switch it on and off, right, and make it live. Here's where the fun starts. It's a burger, the first baiting function. It states in the goblet a list of burgers and an integer representing each topping. If you're not the king, then you'll have to wait for them to flip the contract on. The next thing is to ensure that you're the owner of the goblin. That's fine. So we know the functions for baiting with a single burger. Then we nom that burger, this nom function, and it's actually called nom in the contract, bro. It's so funny. This nom function verifies that you are eating a burger, not a hot dog, and then calls to the burger's nom function, a burn. So back to the single burger baiting, the number you pass in for toppings are treated as booleans. If it's 0, it's ignored. If not, a new mapping sets for that ingredient, which will be used later. Then the important part, it's set to 1. If special, it's set to 0. That seems to be the big difference. Using 2 burgers will basically give you a different output, and using 3 burgers in one trap will give you a different output, and using a hot dog, which is a sideways burger, which is very rare, will give you an even rare one. Anyway, they took you through this whole thing, mate, and I thought it was really cool. Them explaining the contract and showing the code out is something also I haven't seen before. And you know me, I'm a sucker for things I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I think they have a good strategy. I just think it only goes so far and only lasts so long, that kind of FOMO. And I just I don't know. The more you do it, the less interesting it is for people. The narrative isn't as strong as it was once more. That's the only reason. I think it'll still do well. I think they will sell at the 1.5, but we shall definitely see. We shall definitely see.
I'm gonna definitely be refreshing these.
What's the lowest you would take? What's the lowest you would take for that?
I don't want to sell it for less than the value of the burger.
The burger, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but I want to give it a chance, because remember, this isn't a public mint. You have to be in the ecosystem. So there's no rush. They've got it open for 23 days. Let it start being used. Let the burger supply come down. Let the burger price go up. Then you'll start to see, okay, the burgers are worth 3 ETH or whatever, 2.5 ETH. A grumple should be worth, I don't know. Let the mechanics work themselves out. It's not a sprint, this particular one. It's a marathon. So let's see what happens. Look, I haven't yet burnt my other burger. I'm happy to do a wait and see, but I'm not really. I want to at least get 2.5, to be honest, because that's like 1 ETH above. Then you have to pay 10% in royalties and OpenSea and whatever. So you end up with 0.6 profit over the price of the burger, right? True. That would be my absolute least. Otherwise, I'll hold on to it until reveal, get a rare, and sell it for 10 ETH.
Oh God, this is definitely not financial advice, fam. Philip is rolling. Philip buys cars on the weekend for fun.
It's the first time I bought a car for being a good 7
years. Was that fun though?
years.
Buying a car? Was that fun? Was that kind of thrilling to buy a car?
Yeah.
After buying JPEGs for so long?
It was cheap compared to JPEGs, I'll tell you that.
That's funny. You're like, damn, that's it. All right.
It was for Bianca, so it's more of a chore for me to make sure she got the right car.
True.
So there was a lot of stuff to do, like phone a lot of dealerships and go and visit it, have a look. Is it right? Is it wrong? No, we're not happy with this one. No, more chore. If it was a new Lambo for me, it would have been very fun.
Very true.
But a station wagon for Bianca was more like I'm helping her,
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. And then I wanted to show you this, my bro. So if you haven't seen this, it's important. So revoke.cash. They're the company that you go to when your wallet gets scammed. So they've launched a Chrome extension, which I have since installed, that will warn you when there's weird interaction requests going on. So you can see over here, I've got it enabled. I don't have it pinned. You don't need to have it pinned. And bro, I installed this like about 3 or 4 hours ago. They only tweeted this out a few hours ago. and literally it got warned immediately when I went to a mint that was actually later proven to be a wallet drainer. So if you
Wow.
have a look here,
Really?
yeah, today, yeah, this
Okay,
is
I'm
my
gonna download
screen.
that.
Yeah, this is my screen. And here you can see you about it. It was a project, and I'm going to name and shame them because they're fucking thieves. It's
Yeah.
moonrats.xyz, a
Fuck you,
free
moon
mint.
rats.
Yeah, and they were even on pre-mint, if I'm not mistaken. They were one of the projects on pre-mint.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I do stand to be corrected there, but I think so. So I went on from official links on their Discord. I went on to this moonrats.xyz. I connected my wallet. It didn't actually, usually when you connect, it asks you to sign just to let them view your balance. It didn't actually even ask me that, to be honest, which was weird. And then I went to 2 and I clicked on the mint button. And the first thing I saw was this revoke thing came up. And if you
Wow.
can't see it, I'll make it a bit bigger. It says here, you're about to approve an allowance. Please make sure this is your intention. They want to get to your USD coin. Look here.
Wow.
They're trying to. So it's telling you which asset you're signing permission for the contract to touch. And I immediately went reject and went off and warned my community about this particular project, and then thanked Revoke Cash in a tweet for this amazing brand new extension. I do think, I mean, it's brilliant. Literally
They just
within an
earned
hour of me.
Is their official account the one with 3,400 followers?
Let me make sure. Not even 3,400, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. All right.
Okay, because they only recently joined Twitter.
All right. Today we revoked the revoke.cash browser extension. I'm gonna go download that right now because that sounds good to me.
Yeah,
because that's how I lost my World of Women, guys. I lost my World of
know.
Women from a stupid fucking scam link that hurt. $6,000 NFT or whatever it was.
And you would have seen a pop-up saying, the asset that you give him permission is your World of Women Galaxy. And you would have said, hold on, this has got nothing to do with that. And you would have known. The other thing is that there's a MetaMask update that's just come out that gives you a bit more information when you're approving transactions.
Yes,
so
let's fucking go.
If you haven't already, then you're going to want to do your MetaMask update as well. But I would do both. Right?
How do I do that? How do I do the MetaMask update?
So let me show you, and it will probably help the viewers also. So let me share my screen. So what you do is you click on the little thing like the puzzle piece, and then you go manage extensions.
Okay.
Then you go find your MetaMask and say details. Right.
Details. Okay.
And then let's just have a look. Site access, contact area, source. Oh, sorry. Now go back there. There should be an option on yours to say update. When there's an update, if you go if you just stay in that page. Oh, here it is at the top. You see?
Okay.
Click.
So mine does not have that option to. I don't have an option for update. It just doesn't. It doesn't say anything up there. It doesn't say anything about update.
And if you go back and just click update over here in the extensions in general.
I don't have an update option. It doesn't look like anything needs updates.
Oh, sorry. Toggle developer mode on the top right.
There it is.
Sorry. Okay.
Details.
And then go into MetaMask. So click details and then click update.
It's updating right now. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Awesome.
Guys, if you're in the chat right now, you should do that right now while we're doing this together. I just did it on my computer real time. So thank you, Philip, for that. Because that's I'm not trying to get drained here. Because I've got a lot of NFTs that I absolutely love. And it would break my heart to lose those.
Yeah, so this revoke.cash is brilliant. The other thing you should always do is just check that your Chrome is updated. So you go into settings on Chrome once we're in here, and you click on About Chrome, and then it automatically checks if Chrome is at the latest version, because that's another way that people can get to your MetaMask is if you're not running the latest version of Chrome.
Okay, I'm going to update that after our stream so I don't like
you must do that. That's really, really important.
Yeah.
So just to sum up, guys, we're updating Chrome, number one. We then updating MetaMask by going into the extensions and going into developer mode and then clicking update. And then we downloading revoke.cash and installing it as a plugin, right? As a, what's it called? An extension. And yeah, that will mean that you are a lot safer, right?
Yes, that is lit. That is the true alpha.
Let's quickly check on my Grumples over here. Oh, we got a sale at 2.44. All right,
wow.
So now let's check. Not wow. Why are you so? It's a great ecosystem, man.
I know it's a great ecosystem. I'm just surprised that anyone's buying at 2.5 ETH, dude. That's more than the fucking Goblin.
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain to you, it's going to be less in supply.
But that's not that shouldn't be their intention, right? To make or is the goal for the Grumplins to be more expensive than the Goblins?
It's possible. These guys do everything completely backwards.
Interesting.
Let me lower mine to 2.4.
I mean, look, you're a much better trader than I am. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. I just don't think you're right. Yeah, this man's trying to get that 2.44 sale. Let's go.
I told you I won about 2.5. So let's see. There's now been one sale that's gone through at that price.
Fuck yeah.
Problem is everyone's going to start undercutting now, like you said. So
yeah. Oh no, there's like two more, right? You're too late.
No, they're 2.5. Mine's still there. So there's another trick. What you want to do once you lower a price is refresh the metadata, then it will show up.
Oh, is that how you, is that okay? I didn't know that.
So you click here, refresh the metadata, then it should show up quicker than it would if you hadn't, because it's still showing as the 2.69. And now that I've refreshed metadata, let's see if it shows up as the 2.44 yet. There we go. You see,
nice.
Cade?
Okay, cool. Very cool. Did not know
so
that.
That's really important if you're undercutting floors.
All right, guys. If he makes the sale before the stream's over, then I've been wrong, and I have to sell my Bored Ape for 0.01 ETH.
All right, so we got that, and then we also have this. I don't know if you saw this, quite cool.
Saw that.
So Solana, so this is really interesting for me, because they said they're launching this phone in a while, and this looks like a phone store to me. So it's almost like they're starting to set a footprint. And once they're doing it, you can view NFTs inside of it. They've got merch, and I think this is really cool. I think that it's a really
this is in New York, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, Katie, my friend Katie, she's Brooklyn NFTs. I'm sure if you guys are on TikTok, you probably know her. She's the community growth lead at Ledger. She's got hired a few months ago, and she's crushing it. And I found her at like 400 followers, and I was like, yeah, this girl's going to be the biggest in the entire game for female content creators, and she is. She's like one of the top. She's got like 50,000 followers now or something crazy like that, and she's crushing it over there. And she was there at the store yesterday or 2 days ago, and got a bunch of stuff there. So that's pretty cool.
So someone undercut me to 2.4
today.
You see, so how aggressive do I go here? I'm gonna do one.
Dude,
more
if I was you, I would list it like 2.25, 2.3, something like that. Just to get just to get the sale.
Right, that's it. Yeah. It's 2.35. Less than that, it's not worth it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, keep that. Keep that. If you make that sale, I think that's a good price point. Because the difference between 2.2, 2.35 and 2.25 isn't that big of a difference. And you might make the sale just because the number, it just says 2.3. Someone's going to be like, cool.
Come on.
What are you gonna do if that flips? Say you make the 2.5 ETH right here on the stream. What are you going to do? Are you going to buy something else? Or are you going to hold that?
No. Well, I've got to decide then what to do with my other burger, whether to hold it as a burger. You see, it doesn't make sense if the burgers are valued at more than the bloody Grumples. It doesn't make sense. No one will burn. It just doesn't work. So then they'll stop buying their own floor, I'm telling you. So I don't think it can go, it's got to be a bit of an incentive there for guys to burn their burgers.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
Is there any NFT projects that you like? Any OG projects that you maybe want to get back into or get into? Because I know you've got a few NFTs now. They're mainly the top projects, but is there like a project like a Cool Cats, like a mid-tier that you're interested in or not so much?
I've got a Cool Cats. Cool Cats I'm a bit worried about. I don't know if they've made the right decision to follow this game so heavily,
Did you see my video where I rated the top 100 projects on OpenSea?
I
gave them all
started looking
ratings.
at it. I thought Cade needs me desperately. A lot of them that you didn't know much. It's like some of them, I don't know. I would have done it a bit different. I didn't watch the whole thing.
You should make one, dude. You should make yours. Would be way better than mine. You know way more about them than I do. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have done a review on probably 60 to 70% of the projects that I did cover. So I do know a good deal about them, but I don't know all the degen details about some of them. I just know the class. The latest updates, not on all of them. I've done updates on a few of the projects, but I'm sure you weren't happy with my Moonbirds classification at like B or B minus. I think I put. Yeah. I just don't think that they've done enough yet. I think maybe in the future they could be A, but right now all it is just running on hype. And then they give you a bag.
Kevin Rose. Let me tell you, Moonbirds is definitely the highest tier. Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, highest tier. CryptoPunks, highest tier. Everything in that ecosystem. Meebits even. Highest tier. Because
that's what I did. I put Yuga at the top. I put Bored Ape Yacht Club at the top. I put CryptoPunks right under it. I just don't think they've done anything.
Moonbirds has got to be in there.
Why?
And I would
Moonbirds has been around for a fraction of the time, and then people say Kevin Rose, but what does that mean, dude? They haven't done anything yet.
Proof Collective has been around almost as long as Bored Ape Yacht Club and has 100 ETH floor.
Proof has been around since Bored Ape Yacht Club?
Pretty much. I mean, we can have a look, but yeah, they've been around for a long time. Let's go check them out. I've only got burgers and burger things open here. You see, I mean,
what do you guys think, guys? Should Philip do a rating video?
Even a minute ago, a burger was sold at 1.8. It doesn't make sense to accept 1.5. Let me just show you Proof quickly. So Proof, Moonbirds, all of them have to be up there. CryptoPunks, all of them, all up there. Even Clone X for me is up there with them. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They are building in the space. They committed to it. 77 ETH floor, which is pretty much the same as a Bored Ape Yacht Club, almost identical, and more expensive.
That is very impressive.
And all time, maybe I'm wrong, bro. It's this year, December.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they haven't been here that long. Like, it's just the narrative that it's Kevin Rose. That's the only thing they're riding on. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's great, and like they probably will do great. But like right now, if we're just rating them as what they've done and who they are, I just don't think they've done enough. They're just riding on the hype of when they say Proof Collective, Kevin Rose. Like, okay, what does that mean though? It's like, well, high floor. It's like, why? Just because. Like, it's only been 7 months. So that was kind of my thoughts there with the ratings.
So look, Kevin Rose has been well respected as a businessman and in the space of technology for the last 10 years. They were doing a podcast 5 years ago on frickin' Web3 and all of that. He's very well respected in the space, not randomly, not like a 9gag meme land type rubbish that's going on here and people hear about it. He really is an established, astute businessman and on the forefront of technology and building in the space. It's like a Gary V.
I mean, it means something. It means something, but the fact they haven't done anything yet is why I didn't give them A rating. It would have been weird to give them an A rating already. They haven't done anything. VFriends has already launched their VCon, which is what in the phase 1 of their roadmap. All Moonburst has done is drop their oddities and then gave you a fucking $9 bag.
No, they also have their conference. Look, we'll see what they deliver, but I don't think you got to worry about it in any way. They don't need to. They've proven already, in my opinion. Look, and Clone X for sure the same, bro. Clone X is as up there in my books because I'm saying you got to have a criteria. You've got to say, is there a chance that this project's just going to give up on this? Is there any chance that they're going to wreck? Right? No.
I needed a B plus category. There was probably 8 projects that could have made the B plus category right below A minus. A minus had CryptoPunks, World of Webman, VFriends. A only had Bored Apes and Doodles, I think.
So CryptoPunks has to be an A.
I don't know, dude. I just don't know. I've always had not a weird thing with him. I don't know. CryptoPunks for me only blew up because Gary V. I don't think there was many projects out there who dropped at the same time of CryptoPunks, and the only reason they blew up is because Gary V made it right when the bull run was kind of starting. CryptoPunks was the project. If Gary V didn't say it wouldn't be there. Same with Creature World. Same with what's the other project that Gary V put everybody
on? Hold on. CryptoPunks is now owned by Yuga. So even if that was the case, unless Yuga folds, CryptoPunks, is nowhere. And
no, but Yuga has priority on Bored Apes. Yeah, they have historical value, but so does Plasma Bears, so does the fucking Skull Pride. Everyone has it. You guys bought CryptoPunks, so they have a monopoly.
Not as much as CryptoPunks is the OG, and it's an art project, arguably, even though it's not everyone's cup of tea. So CryptoPunks has to be A+. There is no question whatsoever.
In 20 years, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know.
Listen, the other thing with CryptoPunks is there's a lower supply than there is Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think there's about 5,000 CryptoPunks.
That's true.
And CryptoPunks, there's no question, it has to be the highest with Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's no question in that. No one can question that, not even
but
you.
But the hype could fade. The hype could fade there. Same with Bored Apes. I think both Punks and Bored Apes, the entire ecosystem could fold if they start to not deliver on their promises.
Possibly, but there was more chance of them folding before they were valued at $7 billion and had raised.
I think it's less now. I think it's less now because now they have the expectation of doing something, because Bored Apes is so famous for adding utility onto the project. CryptoPunks was never about that.
They raised that money, putting them at a $5 billion valuation before they had other deeds, and they've actually done more secondary sales on other deeds than Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club combined. And that valuation of $5 billion was before other deeds even existed and before ApeCoin even existed. So the valuation has definitely gone up. It hasn't gone down because the ecosystem has successfully increased, as has their IP, right? So in the end of the day, if you have Bored Ape at A+, you have to have crypto. Yes, Yuga can fail. Anything can fail. Any company can fail, right? But if Bored Apes are in A+, then CryptoPunks have to be there because they're both.
No, but then you have to say the same about Meebits. Like, no, Meebits is not getting an A+. Sorry, Doodles and Bored Apes are at the very top because Doodles and Bored Apes have done something. No one else has done something. Doodles has dropped their big collection. They've started to integrate. And
CryptoPunks gave you Meebits, but it's not enough.
I don't know. The criteria to be A is that they have done something. Yeah, I mean, Bored Apes has dropped their other side. They've done their ApeCoin. Doodles has dropped their interoperability. They've introduced. They're going to be the first one to do the thing with Instagram. They're going to be the first one
that Doodles is an A+
system. I think they will be. I think Doodles will be. Look at their team, bro. They've got everyone from Dapper and Top Shot.
Listen, they A, but they're not A+, because look.
Or no, they were A. Sorry, they were A. They were A.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Because look what happened with Crypto Kitties with the 2 million supply, right?
Doodles doesn't have 2 million though.
They've said that their next duplicator and the box, the mystery box, they want to go mainstream. They want to do tens of thousands of them,
but not their OG collection. Their OG collection will stay 10,000.
No, but if you dilute that with a secondary collection of Doodles 2 that has 100,000 NFTs, that will bring down the value of the whole ecosystem.
Bored Ape Yacht Club has just introduced the other side. They've got 100,000 plots. Same thing. It's another collection.
And they run the real risk of that happening too.
That's what I'm saying, but that's why they're at the top. That's why Doodles and Bored Apes are at the top for me, because that same philosophy of thinking. CryptoPunks hasn't done that. One of them has done that yet.
Doodles needs to be where you put them.
Slightly lower. I think Bored Apes is here, Doodles is right here, but I think in the category I should have done A+, A-. That would have been better.
CryptoPunks has to be an A+.
No. I think CryptoPunks is right. I think CryptoPunks is right there, but it's all the same. It's like
CryptoPunks. If you do CryptoPunks as an A+, which you need to, I'm busy negotiating with you. I will give you Clone X as an A instead of me saying it has to be an A+. I'll give you that.
You cannot put Clone X at A+.
Why not? They've got more money than every other NFT project combined because they're Nike, and they've delivered consistently from the beginning. They've been drop after drop after drop, free drops, value. They're doing the first of everything in their own way, and they're Nike.
We'll have to continue this conversation. I do like that argument. I do like Clone X. I just don't think they have built the IP and the brand. I think the only thing when I think of Clone X is Nike, and I think that's good. But I also think that's just as equally bad. That the only thing I think of with the Artifact and Clone X is just like I don't think their IP and brand is strong. I think it's just the fact that it is Nike that comes to mind when I think of Clone X. And I think in a 5-10 year time span that will matter, and that's why I put Doodles at the top. I think Doodles IP is unbelievably strong and up there with Bored Apes. So I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
factors. But I don't know. I mean,
Doodles-
but we're also
Doodles
talking
is-
about peanuts. We're talking about a 90. Like if we're talking on a grade scale, we're talking 98 versus 97 versus 96 versus 95. Like they're all about the same in the same category. It's like the A plus group. Like they're all just up there at the top. We're all just trying to decide who's right a little bit above the other, and that changes week by week. That changes day by day sometimes.
No,
But I
CryptoPunks
still
is the top forever. That doesn't
nah,
change.
no chance, no chance. I don't believe that. I mean, that's like that. That'd be like saying what companies were around 30 years ago that saying these are like it's like it'd be like Facebook is king. It's like, well, TikTok is actually king.
No. We're in a market. NFTs are collectible items, and in the collectible market, if it's older and the original, it is got a notability that you can't take away from it. They don't have to do anything. They've said they're going to, but you don't have to. So
Right, but
this
times
new-
change, right? Like Mario is always going to be the top OG,
Yeah.
one of the most OG. But
And that's why
in this
I've got-
generation, they're not at the top. They're not
That's
at the
why
top,
in that
though.
cabinet I've got all Mario stuff. And so
Yeah.
a collector will always want, if they ingrained in the space, the
Yeah.
Holy Grail will be the original, always.
But for a very small supply of people that are actually care about that. There's people who collect the Beanie Babies still, but it's a very small amount of people who still care about it. So do they actually matter in the grand scheme of things to an entire market? I would argue they don't. You know, Pokemon cards
how
are
many
big in a
Beanie-
small niche.
How many Beanie Babies were ever manufactured compared to 5,000 CryptoPunks in the whole world?
A lot more. But
Exactly.
who cares? You know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, who will care in 30 years? So they might not care. It might just be one of those things that a few hundred people have access to it, and it's not actually mainstream because people can't get into it. Like that's a possibility.
That's
And
the
I
same
think that
as the
possibility is
first-
stronger than a Doodles. I think Doodles takes over the world before CryptoPunks.
The first Apple computer that ever was made, was sold for like $12 million. Why?
Because it's Apple.
Huh?
Because it's Apple, the first one.
Yeah. So
But that's a very
I'm
small
saying-
market, though. But that doesn't mean it's number one, and it's going to be like that. That just means it's number one for that small little category of people. I think, as far as an entire ecosystem and a marketplace is considered, Doodles will take over way faster than something
Doodles
like a
will
CryptoPunks
never
did.
overtake CryptoPunks in floor price ever. Never.
Oh, in floor price, I don't know. But as far as brand and IP and name, and when
No,
people
but
think of
floor
NFTs, I
price-
think they'll think of
floor-
Doodles.
Floor price is the perfect way to show supply versus demand. So if you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, we've got 1 million people in the space at the moment, right? OpenSea says they've got 1.5 million wallets. Of that, many are duplicated. So let's say we've got maximum 1 million people, right, in the space. And you've got 5,000 CryptoPunks. And even at the smaller million market size, they've been able to maintain their floor price because of demand and supply. Imagine when there's 10 million people in the space, but still only 5,000 CryptoPunks. And
So is the
imagine when
highest
there's-
floor price what gives it an A plus, or is brand IP and influence the
No,
most
it's a
important
mixture.
thing?
It's a
mixture.
mixture of that. But you don't want a collection that's going to dilute itself. Like Doodles is a risk at the moment. The OG, I still hold my OG. But I'm saying the guy who's running Doodles at the moment is the same Crypto Kitties guy, and he did this to Crypto Kitties. And this is the problem. Yes, we want to get it out to every people, but if there's going to be 10 freaking million of Doodles too, then it's not rare anymore, and it doesn't have that value anymore. And
Yeah,
that will
I
bring
agree, it's
down
high
the
risk.
OGs.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
agree. It's super high risk. But if they hit the home run, Doodles will overtake almost
Maybe
every
be
other
the
project.
first mainstream one, maybe. But
Or they
that's not
ship
gonna
themselves.
happen.
Yeah,
That's not going to happen overnight either.
true. I agree. I think they have a very strong chance of winning. They also have a huge chance of fucking themselves. I just think that their team is strong enough, and I think they'll do very well over the long haul. But I mean, yeah, you're right. Anything can happen. Plus, a new project could just randomly come in and sweep the floor and just destroy everybody else. They could do something that's revolutionary, that's way more with the times, that brings in way more people, and then bridges the gap between bullshit gambling and reality. Punks is more like art. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, like maybe. Like, it just depends on the market. Like, who's going to care? If Punks becomes so extraordinarily exclusive, then it's to the point where people don't even give a shit anymore about it. Because it's one of those things I can't afford. It's like Bugattis. Yes, Bugattis will always be there, but as far as influence, maybe not. Maybe people think of Lambo, even though Lambo's not as extraordinary. Punks is OG, no execution risk also.
Oh, sorry.
It's good for VCs. Yeah, you're right. It does depend on who you're talking about and who it brings value to. I think, yeah, there's a whole lot of ways. Like maybe CryptoPunks gets an A+ in one category, then a B- in one category, but then an A over here, then a B over here. Like you're right. It is hard to put an exact rating on it because there's so many different things. I agree. Yeah, Clonex could be A. I think Clonex could be A or A-.
You're not going to like this comment.
That was a ground down to. I mean, I don't care. Like, I think they could. I mean, Doodles definitely could come down. I think. Look, I don't tie because of the way Doodles is attacking it. I don't think Doodles' floor price will dictate how valuable it is. I think it's the IP and the brand that it'll build, because I know they're trying to become the Super Mario. They're trying to be the project that people think of when people think of NFTs. Right now, it's Bored Apes. Still Bored Apes. It'll be a long time before it's not. Poor person who buys 1.2.1 ETH, I would say save up more money. Don't buy anything.
In this current bear market, there's quite a lot for 0.1 ETH that might.
Well, yeah, but I guess what are you trying to do?
What
are you trying to do with that 0.1 ETH?
Do you want something that for long term, or what I would do with if I started with 0.1 ETH, which I actually did. I did put money in after that, but so I didn't flip it all the way. But I would try and make that into 0.2 ETH, and then try and make it into and carry on until I can get something. That's 1 or 2 ETH that, like my pet hooligan Cade mentioned, is at 0.8 at the moment. But I'm saying work your way up there. That's what I would do. But that takes time and learning, and also attention. If you just want something for 0.1 that you hold long term, find a piece of art under Art Blocks, a collection that's not that well known that you absolutely love. Buy it, keep it in your hardware wallet, print it, get it on your wall, and love it. So it really does depend what you want to do with it,
Yeah, I agree. But if 0.1 ETH is all you've got, I would say get more money first. And you're probably if you're looking to flip, if you only have 0.1 ETH to play with, you're probably gonna lose it anyway. So yeah, I would agree. Pick something that you like. Like, you got to be able to sink in a few grand before, especially if you're new and you're poor. That's not a good combo for NFTs right now, because you're walking into a casino.
You're walking into a Shark Tank. Your guys are waiting for fresh blood. That's the problem.
Yep.
I would the best advice would be to hold your 0.1 Ethereum and join discords like mine, like Cade's, and communities, and join an alpha discords. Mine's completely free. There's a lot of alpha there. Come in and join and ask questions, and learn and see what's going on in the space before actually pulling the trigger. Because if that's a lot of money to you, then rather take your time to really, really figure out the space beforehand.
I agree.
So RTKFT dunks, Gutter clones, Adidas. See, Gutter gang, I'm very bullish on. The problem is they've also diluted the shit out of their. They were already diluted with their pigeons and their dogs, and then they've got the clones for all of them. So the actual OG one, I think, is really good. The clones itself, I don't know. Adidas, I'm bullish on, very bullish on. But now it's more confusing because there is the 1 and the 2 and the third little capsule. So definitely don't get the 1, the Adidas Into the Metaverse 1. You'd need to get, because I don't think you can utilize those anymore. You'd need to get an Into the Metaverse 2 or a capsule. And the dunks, I believe in, man. I think Nike or Adidas ecosystem, you can't go wrong.
I would go Artifact over everything else that's listed there. I would probably still go with Clonex.
But the difference there is that it's the dunks, it's the shoes. It's not like a Clonex.
Right?
Whereas Adidas is Adidas 2 will be your pass to their PFP.
Okay.
So you could be at the beginning of Adidas or sort of in the middle of Clonex. I might say Adidas long term. Don't know.
Yeah.
It's not financial
maybe
advice.
I thought that was Clonex.
A difficult one. Do we want to have a look here, Cade? I don't know if I even want to look what's going on with Grumples.
Let's do it. Let's see.
Fuck. No, these are burgers. Okay, thank God.
All right, let's see.
Okay, getting a little bit of sales around the 1.9 ETH mark.
Damn, someone skipped over you.
Yeah, so let's see what so we now got let's just let it refresh, 266 items. Floor price 202. So guys are like me, they're gonna hold strong. It's like, look, we're not going to 1.9 here. And look here, this wallet is the same wallet for all three.
Oh wow,
I
he's trying to
imagine
make
that
some
this
profit.
no, I imagine this is the guy who bought them.
Oh, he bought
I
them.
ima-
Oh, okay.
I imagine that this might be a team member because they need to keep it above 2 ETH, otherwise the system doesn't work for them. But let's see what else they got in this wallet.
Jesus, what are these moon cats?
I don't know. I flipped them for a nice little profit.
Nice.
I think I sold them at 0.15.
Jesus, you got a bunch of shit in there.
A lot of shit in here. But don't we all? Let's be honest. I mean,
Okay, Bears Yacht Club. That's funny.
yeah, this guy likes derivatives. I don't like derivatives.
Yeah, I think they're so stupid.
He's got some burgers.
Oh god, he's got the rubber ducks.
Yeah, I remember. I also had one of those.
God,
Yes,
dude,
that
I remember
went to
Tom was
shit.
so excited about that. I was like, Tom,
Yeah,
this project looks
everyone.
like shit, bro. I'm sorry. This looks like shit. I was like, there's no way. They have no personality. They look weird.
And
He's like, it's a
even
bath
these-
party. You can customize them. I was like, Tom, that sounds fucking stupid, dude. Sorry.
Look at this Mad Mouse. I mean, this was so hyped. This is what I mean. This is the metaverse capsule, and no one knows
Yeah.
what it is. I think it's just a wearable. I don't think it's the avatar. Floor price 0.17. I would get an Adidas 2 if I could.
Hey, what's that rubber duck at, by the way? What's the floor on rubber ducks? Just out of curiosity.
0.028.
Goddamn. Oof.
Okay, look, I mean, this doesn't look like a Truth team member, to be honest, with the shit that's inside of here.
I mean, it could be one of his burners or something.
This is the Adidas. So just because we were talking about it, just because it came up here, let's just make it very clear. You got to get a phase 2 if you want to get into it. That's what I'm saying. So 0.744. I would put an offer, a WETH offer at 0.68.
Yeah, I would do that too.
People are accepting there's not a huge amount of sales going on at the moment. It's out of the spotlight. 0.68 and keep watching it. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with my grandpa so far. I was expecting.
I'm not surprised. I just think that the attention's there right now, dude.
It's not over yet. They'll get the attention there. We are the loudest community. Have you seen how many people tweet about this shit?
Yeah, but I think it in the last few weeks, all projects have done worse over the hours. As the hours passed, they got worse and worse because people got impatient and they said, "Fuck it, let me just list it at whatever I'll take. I'll take whatever." And that's what I've noticed recently.
But people have invested at least. Well, the people who bought a burger have invested at least 1.5 fucking ETH into this thing.
Yeah, but most people aren't thinking the way you do, Philip. You're a much higher IQ trader than most of these people trading, and I just don't think they think the same level that you think. They're just thinking money.
But they've proven that these guys are builders. It's not like you're worried about getting racked.
Right, but that's not equivalent to the floor. Just the fact that they're builders doesn't mean the floor will be high, and that people who are in the project buying stuff know that or care or even understand that. I think they just see the number 1.7, they see $3,000.
But I'm saying, what do I look for in a project? I look for a good team. These guys are a great team. I look for a good lure or narrative or story. These guys are perfect at that. They really, really are. I look for a strong community. These guys have that. What the fuck else do you want? I look for nice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you're talking about a short-term trading. You're trying to have short-term degenerate trading. That's different. You know, that's based purely on attention and hype at that moment. It might be a strong project, but they might not have a lot of attention right there, you know? And that's where I pay more attention. If you're going to do degenerate trading like this, where you're like, I'm trying to do a quick flip, that doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. So I think why you're seeing me be like this is I'm okay to hold it also.
Sure,
so I think that's what whereas, other people will maybe stress to get out. I hear that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the floor drops, because I think they're going to stress.
Yeah,
they need the money.
I'm okay to hold this. I do think medium to long term it's got good potential. It's interesting to watch. Like the price of the burgers as well, and the sales of the burgers is interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's a risk, dude. Every time you introduce a new collection, it's a big risk for the OGs and for the value of the brand. Because if you take one misstep,
I like how they've done this, because this should get rid of a lot of these freaking burgers.
Yeah, but it's risky, like how you said, if the floor goes below this, it's fucking over, basically. You know, I mean, they're gonna have to sweep the floor or something.
Yeah. What is JT saying here? Through
Ooh.
shade of G-Money, it did us today.
Wait, on Twitter?
No, I didn't. I don't like that. They shouldn't do that.
Well, let's see. I love it. I love any drama. It's kind of funny.
Rubber, welcome, man. So I minted at Grumples, and now I'm trying to sell it at a bit of a profit, and I'm not doing so well. There's no frickin' sales happening at the moment. You know, usually when I'm DJing with which this isn't, I don't mint straight away. I'm not interested in minting straight away usually, because I'll wait to see secondary sales or whatever. But this ecosystem, I want to be involved in. That's it.
Who's the founder of Artifact? Who was talking shit apparently? I forget what his Twitter is. I can find it on the website. What's up, Dickens ass? Dickensis. Sorry. Where's the team?
Dickensis is an OG. Comes into all the videos of mine, and I know you said yours also, Cade.
Yeah, he's a king.
Man, always good to have him.
All right, well,
I think for a long time I called him Dickens.
I just see like the way the word looks, and I just roll with that. I never really say it out loud though. Honestly, Goblin getting boring. Been muting them all. Interesting.
I don't want to hear that right now. Come on, JT. Come on.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like, hi, I just got married. Here's my wife. She's ugly as shit.
All you can hear about is everyone saying the fucking weddings are terrible, marriages are miserable. Right when you get married, you're like, oh,
exactly. Yeah, just give me a chance here, man. Give me a chance.
That is funny.
I got my new
baby. I can't find anything.
It's like boring, irritating. But 277, 291. So people are minting. That means burgers are being burnt.
Yeah.
The other thing to think of here is that some guys might want to wait and it does show you. Look here. So it shows you if there's 3 burgers in it or 1 burger in it.
That's nice.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't actually know.
Have any sold for 3? Have any sold with 3?
Yeah, let's have a look. I don't know. Single. No, all single burgers. Let's see. That 1.5 ETH offer still there. No one's taking the bait. Oh, we got a 1.55 offer. So there's a bit of action going on the offer side. So that's good to see. Yeah, look.
Do you remember when that Bored Ape sold for like 100 USDC or 100 whatever coin that was, and people thought the guy thought it was 100 ETH? DAI, I think it was called, the coin DAI. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, could you fucking imagine if you literally like bought that ape with your own money and you accidentally sold it for that? Like, I would be so upset. Like, could you imagine being that guy too who like scammed him? Like, I just feel like you have to be such a shit person to scam someone like that. Like, that's so fucked.
Yeah.
God, that would hurt me. That would hurt me bad.
Yeah. You got to be very careful with these high end assets. You really do.
Wait, have you seen that tweet that just came out about Bored Ape Yacht Club holders getting hacked? Have you seen the video that went viral?
No.
Let me show you this shit. This is so funny.
Why don't you share your screen? You can share your screen.
Well, it's not on my phone. It's on my phone, not my computer. Here, I'll show you right now. So it's hold on. It's Bored Ape holders when they see a suspicious link. Dude, I was dying laughing at this. They literally, all the comments were like just poking fun at it. It was so funny.
Look, those haters, right?
They really do get hacked a lot. It is like, it's fucked, but it's funny too. Like, it does.
Of course,
seem like
they've got a target. They've got a target on them because
It was funny though. It was funny seeing the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders thinking it was funny and not getting like triggered over it or something.
SCN is minting today. I wonder if it performs like a Zeka. Yeah, I don't know. I covered it on the show. I mean, it was hyped, but Zeka, it was terrible. Didn't perform well at all. It took a long time to sell out. They had to, I think they lowered supply and God knows what. So it's just a hard market. And with ETH being up now, guys don't want to spend the US dollar. They're now converting it back to US dollars, whereas before it didn't matter. Now all of a sudden, like when ETH is going down, the floor prices stay at 10 ETH. But ETH going up now, it goes to 5 ETH because it's now 50%.
Yeah, dude, it is literally the Wild West out here. That's why I'm really glad I got into the content game, because I would be having a bad time if I was just a trader. Like I would be stress. It'd be a stressful time.
It is, yeah. I'm not just a trader, but it is. This is the Twitter of the RTKFT guy. Yeah,
okay. Let me check it out. Hold on.
You can check it out. I'm looking at this Goblin Grumple situation over here, making me a little bit grumple myself.
Here we go.
Cade.
Thank you,
the
JT.
The Grumple situation is making me a little bit grumple myself.
Oh God!
Floors at 1.9 again for these freaking things.
I'm trying to find where he's talking shit.
Let's see what the burgers are at now. So still no more sales other than these 4.
Hey, JT, when did he start talking shit? Was this a while ago or was this today? I'm rolling through all his tweets and replies. I don't see anything here that's negative. Oh, here we go. I found something. All right. I'm all for people and brands to copy some of our innovations and mechanics. We created Artifact and this new blueprint of brand, product, and community building to inspire the next generation and accelerate our future. Just don't pretend we aren't doing all of this. That's all. And then someone responded saying, I think G and the rest of the informed community know that you all at Artifact are pioneering the Phygital movement. And I think the article or reference to it by G was a slight, as I do believe his intentions are to bring the same technology to his high fashion. It's all love. And then he said, don't worry about this. Isn't about G's brand. It's in general about how to market something that's new when it in fact isn't new. Creating something new is a lot harder to do than talk about. Interesting.
I think they should both grow the fuck up. That's what I think.
I'm not.
I don't know why have a public spat over bullshit. In the end of the day,
it's not really bad. I mean, I don't really think it's.
In the end of the day, look at this. The burgers are going up in price. In the end of the day, flattery is the best form. What copying is the best form of flattery? Everyone.
This is the tweet, by the way. If anyone wants to check it out.
Everyone who does a secondary drop is copying Bored Ape Yacht Club. Every single person. It's a compliment, and it just adds value to Bored Ape Yacht Club. The same thing that if it is true that they're copying Clone X, anyone who copies Clone X is adding value to Clone X without knowing it. I don't know if it is true or not, but also Clone X doesn't own the right of AR. It's not like they can't say that it just wasn't planning this also. I think it's such bullshit. I don't get involved in shit like this. I'm saying in my personal side, when people try and poke me with my personal, like on Twitter and whatever, with my little stuff in NFTs, I don't get hooked. I don't let it get to me. I never get into a public spat. I'm not interested.
Yeah. It's kind of like NFT Nate said this once on a podcast with me. He was like, the projects that spawn derivatives are the blue chips. They're the ones that matter. And I was like, that's a good way to put it. The people that bring the fucking trends, they're the ones that matter in the end.
Okay, you explain to me how burgers are more than Grumples. The burgers are now 1.85 and they sell
because dude, people aren't thinking about it the way you're thinking about it. They don't see it as an ecosystem. They see it as a flip, as a separate project. That's how they see it when they're a trader with the small vision, which is everyone who's trading NFTs basically, except for a small category. Maybe 2% of traders are thinking like you, and that's why you have a Bored Ape, and that's why you have a Moonbird. Most people don't have anything remotely close to that level of portfolio.
There's a tipping point where these look cheap, and I think we're getting close because the burgers are 1.85 and the Grumples are 1.9. It just doesn't make sense.
Told you, bro. 1.3. That's when they'll start selling. I told you. I just don't. 2.3 is not happening. It's just not going to happen. In the beginning, like I said, in the beginning of the stream, 2.3 will sell right now, and that's it. And there's like 2 that sold, and then
well, when they reveal, it depends what you get. But look, let's see. I think the question now becomes: do I
guys like this video? Please smash that like button so Philip doesn't start crying at the end of this stream because he's gonna have a bad time.
This is all education. I'm thinking it might be a good play to get rid of the burger here.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
The only reason I wanted the second one was to flip the first grumple.
Sell the burger.
But do you think that the burger is going to be worth more than a grumple? Because I can convert that burger to a grumple without paying an extra cent.
What does the grumple do again?
This volume.
Yeah. I would stick. I think the burger is more bullish for me long term than these grumples. This is kind of like the babies by Cool Man. Well, I guess it's not the same. I would stick with if you're gonna hold anything, I would hold the burger honestly over the grumple, even though the grumple maybe has more upside. I don't know. I would sell both if I was you. But if you're gonna hold one, maybe hold the burger.
I would sell all my NFTs if I were you.
Yeah, I don't know. I only really hold the OG. I just think the OG is more important.
I've got to change this picture. I didn't realize it was even up here. Oh, jeez, I've got so much shit here. Desktop.
Guys, drop in the comments what NFTs you're buying or what NFTs you're selling right now. I want to hear what you guys are doing in your DGen behavior. What NFTs are you holding on to through this bear market? Which ones are you not?
You see, I don't really like having my face on OpenSea, bro.
They all know it's you. It says Philip. It's on your fucking profile. Plus, like, it's a strong portfolio, dude. Like, it looks good for you. I have mine on mine. I mean, I have NFTs that I own that are made by me too. So that's why I have it, because I want people to know that's by me when I have my own art pieces. But people don't care.
Fuck, Clone X is 8.8. Yes. Meebit's 4.9. I mean, I don't even like the fucking art on Doodles. I really don't.
When I did their review back when they were at 1 ETH, right before that podcast I did with Jordan Castro, Poopy.eth, he's one of the founders. I remember saying, I think the art's objectively really cool. I like it. Not personally for me, but I like it objectively, and I think it will do well. I think they're missing the story and the lore and the brand part of it, and that's what Jordan in that podcast told me. He's like, that's what we're working on. And then a few weeks later, they mooned to 12 ETH or 15 ETH, whatever it was. And with Doodles, I think like I said, I think it objectively is great, and I think it's cute. Like personally for me, it's not. Cool Man's universe is about as cartoony as I'll probably go. But I mean, it's cool. It's cute. I like the colors and stuff, but I don't know. I think the narrative is just strong for them.
I'm trying to sell this Jadu hoverboard. I'm just less bullish on the metaverse now that Yuga's competing. I'm just, all the projects like Sandbox and this could be used in NFT worlds. Well, there's no fucking NFT worlds anymore. So, yes, they're building their own game. How long does it take? How long do you think it took Minecraft to build their game?
Dude, well, in that podcast with Doodles, he told me that they made a blockchain on-chain rock, paper, scissors, and it took them like 6 months. And he said, if you're going to do anything cool, it's going to take years with a big team, a lot of resources, a lot of time. And you also, during that time, you have to have buffers that continue to bring value while you're doing all that, which is just hard to do.
Jesus, this is one of my worst trades. This is what happens when you buy the fucking hype.
Yikes.
I think I paid
what did you buy?
Ethereum.
Oh,
a long time ago. Remember, this was hot
Dude.
as shit.
I remember.
I don't know if you remember.
I remember,
Yes.
but I also remember thinking, yeah, this project's got a lot of attention right now.
Can't even get rid of it at 0.069.
Oh, you have it listed?
Incredible. Yeah.
No.
I've listed everything. I want to get out of all the shit, and I want to move on.
List your Doodles for 0.1 ETH. I'll buy it.
Oh, funny. I've got a Doodles for you. Let me show you.
You have a Subduck? No way. I didn't know you had a Subduck.
Yeah, cool.
Oh shit! Okay, we're fam.
Let me show you. What do you want to pay? You say?
I'll buy your Doodle for 0.1 ETH.
Okay, I've got a doodle for you for point one in my throwaway wallet. What's it called? The one that I do all degen mints with. Here we go. There's a doodle for you.
My God.
I'll do a private listing for you. Okay. You just
all right, 0.01 USDC.
No, thank you. That's actually pretty much what the floor is. Actually, that's higher than the floor.
Wait, hold on. Let's go through this. What else you got in here?
0.01.
Can we scroll through this a little bit?
There's nothing. There's only 15 in here. I've really upped my security recently. So nice. I've got my ledger, which I do not connect to. So I won't connect to it yet. It's never been connected to nothing.
Wait. Your ledger is the one with all your high NFTs, or is the ledger the one with all the shit NFTs?
No, the ledger is not the one with the tick. I won't even connect to it on OpenSea. It's got all the high, high NFTs. Gotcha. Then I've got this middle account, which is the one for degen mints that might be wallet drainers. It's got very little ETH in it, and it's got all this shit in it. If something that I mint on this wallet ends up being decent, I move it to my normal main wallet to sell it or whatever, right? So this is just the ones that end up being absolute shit, right?
Gotcha.
And then I've got my main wallet, which is the one that I was looking through, which is where I transact on. Now, the only reason that a lot of my blue chips are in here at the moment, and after I'm actually going to move them, is because I'm busy trading. Yeah, I've got a lot listed. I'm busy getting out, but I'm actually going to move one or two back. Like I did list my Clone X when it was pumping a bit about 2 months ago at 17 ETH, and it never got there. So I think I should just move it back now.
Yeah, and for people who are listening, if you are looking at his NFTs, the good ones at least, and thinking, "Goddamn," then just remember that everyone has different reasons for trading. If you look at my ledger, it's going to look very different than Philip's. We have different goals. Like my ledger is filled with art pieces that are by artists you probably haven't heard of, and I've got a few, collection style collectible NFTs, but that's not really the majority. Like a lot of my NFTs are like you would not recognize 90% of them because I don't have that same. I collect a very specific style of NFT. He collects a very specific style, and another YouTuber will collect
I'm a trader. Yeah, I'm a trader. Yeah. I'm here to flip
and he's good. Money. He's a good trader. So
everything
just
has
keep
a
that
price.
in mind. Yeah, he's
everything
a good trader.
Has a price. There's nothing that
most people
aren't
good traders.
Whereas in the beginning, I was married to everything, and that's, I learned my lesson. But I just want to make everyone feel a lot better. You only seeing my good ones. You're not seeing my hidden folder on my main wallet. If you go here, I got 506 mistakes.
Wait, have you looked at that website that everyone's doing where it checks to see how much profit or how much you're not in profit?
Yeah, I did. The problem is that it's split over so many. I've got another ledger also. So
gotcha.
I connected my ledger to it, and I was in like 120 ETH profit. But when I connected this account, I was in 20 ETH loss because I'm moving between, and then I didn't even connect my third ledger, which I don't even show here. Because I don't want people to see anything of that, which has got some really special stuff on, which has never bought anything, but is probably, it's got a decent value of stuff. So it wasn't. And then when I tried to connect multiple wallets to it, because there was an option for that, it said you have to buy the full version. That website that you tweet about, right, is what you're saying, where it says investment. But there is a good site for it.
I'm trying to find the one I used. I forget what it's called.
I think
like on this
NFT
wallet. It's something like that. The thing is, you're right. Like with this one, like it says I've spent 15 and I'm in profits. Like my overall is I'm in profits, but you're right. Like you have multiple wallets. So like with these, like the only reason I'm up 4 ETH in profit is because 70% of the NFTs I'm up on are in my ledger that I transferred from this wallet. So it's not going to get, and I didn't even sell them. So it's like, it's kind of hard to tell but I also said on that tweet, I was like, I want to see these alpha callers and see if they're actually up, because most people are not up. I was actually impressed that I was up, out of 15 ETH, I'm up 4. So that's pretty good for what I've spent. And that's not including all the NFTs that are the best ones that I never even sold. If I sold them all, I would be up 50%. So it's like pretty good for a person who's not even trading. And I would argue that 90% of people in the NFT space would actually be negative profits right now. I think there's a very small amount of people who are up. And so just be careful who you're listening to. Like, honestly, like Philip doesn't have as many subscribers as some of these alpha callers, but I think Philip's 10 times the trader of most of these guys out there. And so especially with YouTube, don't look at subscribers. Some people just understand the YouTube game and the thumbnail game a little bit better than us, but aren't as good of traders. And there's some people who are extraordinary traders who aren't as big on YouTube for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not as clickbaity or something like that. And that's hard to know. It's hard to know who to trust out there. And that's where you can really only look at numbers if you're looking to trade.
Yeah, you see, it doesn't let me. I don't even have my legit device. I won't let me connect to it, but it's only showing my hot wallet. It's not showing all. Yeah, it's interesting. But this is a great site, eh? This shows you so much. If you go to, it's called NFTbank.io. If you go to tax filing over here, I think it's tax filing. No, it's not tax filing, but that's good if you want to do your taxes. There's a thing where it shows you your best trades and your worst trades. It shows you like your percentage of realized gains and stuff, which is really interesting because you do want to be assessing. I'm trying to find it here. You do want to be assessing your decisions constantly and learning from it. I think it might be here. No, it's not showing me. Just haven't been on this for a long time. In a bear market, you don't really want to come up here.
Yeah.
But I know exactly where I'm at because I've got a spreadsheet where I track everything. And I've been in the space for a year, and I'm about 25% up as we stand now with everything as it is right now. If you had spoken to me 6 months ago in the bull market, I was 3x on a big amount of money. If I'd sold everything at the top, I was doing really, really incredibly well. And that's what I've learned.
We were doing so well, in fact, that there was a point, if you guys were watching my YouTube channel back in the bull runs, you guys remember I gave away an Ugaverse NFT, which was valued at 3 ETH at the time, because I thought, who cares, bro? We're still going up. I nothing but dubs for everybody, and I had more than one, and I was like, fuck it. So I gave one away, and I can't tell you, that was probably one of my worst plays ever was not selling Ugaverse at the top there, because I remember thinking this is probably the top and thinking, let me just hold this. Fuck it, dude. And I just didn't sell. I just held on to it. Ended up selling it for like a fraction of that at in the bear market. And I was just like, why did I not take advantage? And like, I was just, you're so euphoric when things are good that you literally forget what it's like to not be good. So you
learn for next time. But hopefully. Look, so this is my best ones, and I think I'll stop when I break even. No, I won't. I'll show you. So Psychedelics Anonymous, a 2,300% gain when I sold. These are ones that I've sold.
Yeah.
Kaiju Mutants, a 1,600% gain. Generative Dungeon, a 1,000% gain. Imaginary Ones, a 700% gain. Psychedelics Anonymous, something to do with that. Clone X, 600% gain because I've had a few. Ape Invaders, I honestly do not know what that is, a 500% gain. Fiery Dow, the derivative of Irene Dow. Do you remember Irene Dow when she came out? And this was a derivative of it, okay? And that pumped. No, I don't know why. You can see I used to be DJing. 544% return on Fire Dow. Zen Academy, 477%.
Nice.
Punks. 8-Bit Me, Ali NFT, the Crypto Dads. I did sell some Crypto Dads at a profit, but I think once I sell this one at a loss, I do think if you click on it, it will actually show you here. I've sold 2, proceeds 2.3 Ethereum. This is what so I made 1.7 ETH, but once I sell this other one, I'm going to lose all of that. That's what I keep saying. The mistake I made is I went back into it. I FOMO'd into it after I had made good money on it. This is going to take when I do sell this one at nothing, it's going to take all these gains because I think I bought in at about, maybe it wasn't as high as 2 ETH. Let's just have a look back and check. I hope it's not as high as 2 ETH, but it's a good example of where I say, like, I make my mistakes when I double dip, when I go back into a collection that I've done well on. Let's just see. Yeah, look, I bought it for 1.2 ETH. So that's going to take not all the gains, but most of the gains are gone once I sell it. This will not be there anymore. So, yeah, that's something that you can learn and that I think is important.
Yeah,
only problem
for sure.
when you click there, so it takes you back. Yeah, but I mean, you get the point. But let me just show you when you go all the way down because there's equal losses. I just think it's important that people don't think that I'm just. There was a. How did I get there, Cade? It was there.
I don't have an answer for you there.
Fuck, this is so irritating. It took me financial statements. There we go. Okay, so let's get past the good stuff. Okay, this is all gains, small gains, all gains. And now we go into loss here. Okay, that's very small, 0.2. Let's go to a bigger loss. Okay. Casual sloths. That's a recent one. 13%.
Oh no. Damn.
13%. Akutas, I flipped a few, 12%.
I'm actually surprised about Dippies that they've gone so low. I'm a little bit surprised there. I thought they had a really, really strong brand, but maybe not.
Maybe, I mean, they're still newish. Grey Boys, I did so well on, and with the recent dump I just got out of, and I ended up net, I don't have any more now, and I'm net lost. There was a time I was 5 ETH up on this altogether, on all the Grey Boys I had bought and sold. And I quickly got rid of 3 the other day with the NFT World thing at 0.3 ETH each, when, they could have been 2-3 ETH each. But that's, again, me getting back into ecosystems once I've sold. Galaxy Eggs down 17%. Los Muertos down 17%. Logics down 18%. Laid Back Llamas, Goonies, Flip.
Dude, for Los Muertos, I got it. We minted that or bought it really, really cheap, and we sold at 0.12. No, sorry, we made a 0.2 ETH profit on all 3 of mine, right? So I made 0.6 total or something like that, and then they all went to like 0.6 or 0.8 or something like really high. And we were kicking ourselves because we're like, God fucking damn it. Like, we got it for free, basically. And we still sold for profit. But it's one of those, like, sometimes you sell and it keeps riding up all the way up. And, like, look, as long as you got profit, it's good. But it still hurts. Like, that hurt me really bad. I was really upset about that. I'm not going to lie. I was like, fuck.
So the ecosystem that I've done the best on by far is Bored Ape Yacht Club. My mutants, I bought one at 3. I sold it at 8. I then bought back in at 6 and I sold it at 42. Okay, that's my mutant. My Bored Ape, the reason I've changed all my pictures here is because I sold that. I got an offer that was about 40% above floor, 2x what I paid if you worked it out. And I had to, for that amount of money in a month, I had to do it. But I mean, those 2 have been my best, and that's why I'm really, then you don't even factor in the ape coin that I got. I wasn't in the ecosystem to get a free mutant or a free dog, so I never got that. But guys who got in and held have been so financially rewarded. I mean, it's just, how can you not be a fan of that if you were involved in that?
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. I agree. Board Account Club is one I may get into at some point in the future, just to be part of the.
They've got utility coming up. That's the next thing that they're giving utility for. It's even in their roadmap. So I would wait for ETH to go down a bit if it ever does, and I would maybe wait for the floor to go down, because if ETH drops to 1,000 in the next week or 2, which I don't know if it will, then the floors will drop. People will panic. But try get in if you can. I think it's good. But that. I mean, I like the Yuga ecosystem. They understand that guys like me are here to make profit, and they want to give me some of the profit that they make. And they've shown
100%,
that.
dude. 100%.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We've been going for 2.5 hours almost.
It's time for me to go to bed. It's midnight.
Wow.
To our wonderful viewers, thank you so much for being with us, especially anyone who's been here from the beginning. I know JT's been here a long time. I wonder if Tekenza's still here, but thank you guys. We do it only because of you guys. Make it worth it. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, come join our Discords, follow us on Twitter, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Click that like button, fam. Click that like button.